options and shit that you can do. All right, we live. Ain't nobody tapped in yet, but it's okay. We don't give a fuck. Anyways, episode 14, posted over Boss Claus. And I got my peoples, the Watkins family, India and Rodney. Thank you guys.
What's
What's
up?
up, Famo?
Thank you guys for your time. Um, shit. This is my little punk ass podcast I do. At most I get like 10 motherfuckers, 15 motherfuckers in here. The rest of the time, whatever. But I
You
started
got
this
you
podcast
back there.
to
You got
shut
a
up
killer.
to shut up a hater.
Is killer back there?
Nigga was talking about, why I ain't on any platforms. How come I'm not on all the smoke or all that bullshit? Got the big platforms like my other NBA brethren. That's because I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to, enjoy my time on YouTube. So to shut his ass up, I said, fuck it. And I started things off by bringing on the comedian Scruncho out of Long Beach. Mm-hmm. That right there was set it off for me on my birthday last year. And that nigga ain't had nothing to say.
What? Yeah.
Although he did come on like a month or two later. He got up in my comments, trying to talk crazy when I had another comedian homeboy on here. And we got our motherfucking clown on. But all right, we're gonna get this shit started. Fuck them, they ain't here yet. So life abroad. First of all, where y'all from?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
I'm from Washington. Chocolate City used to be DC.
Used to be.
Now we got
but you know what?
DMV area is still pretty black though.
What took you guys to China? How the hell did you guys end up in Shanghai, China?
I tell.
You can tell.
Okay, let's see.
I hit the lottery, motherfuckers.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
So we trying to keep our kids out while we doing this. So basically how it started, Rodney and I actually just celebrated our 11-year anniversary, but we've known each other for about 17 years. Mm-hmm. And we got married December 31st, 2013. And the reason why, not just it being our anniversary, why that's significant, is because some months before that, I remember I've lived abroad a lot of my life as an adult and growing up. And I remember having a conversation with Rodney before we got married, telling him that, hey, I want to do something different, after we get married, like start our life, do something, go abroad. And he asked me, well, where do you want to go? And I basically told him pretty much whatever opportunity presents itself that sounds good, is different. I may have had a more open mind about it because Rodney didn't really know what to expect, because outside of West Africa, Liberia, where they're from, he had never been anywhere else really out the country. So neither of us really had any expectation for different reasons. So right after we got married, I want to say within days, I started looking for opportunities. And at the time, I was a full-time hairstylist, and I had left and took a hiatus from corporate. So I started looking to see if there were any international opportunities to do hair, take over anything. Like, I just was looking for something different. And I saw back when Craigslist was popping. And I saw somebody post an ad in the London Craigslist for hairstylists, but they were trying to recruit for Shanghai, saying that they had a salon, that it was Black owned. They were looking for somebody to manage and be the lead stylist. So, people scammed online just like they do now, but it wasn't as prevalent. So it was just kind of like, let me apply and see what happens out of it.
Yeah.
Within a week from doing that, I get an email back from this woman who I'm not even going to say her name to dignify it. And that part of the story is, something about it. With like, I just refuse to say her name on it. But long story short, the person who presented that opportunity to me, we interview. Everything goes well in the interview. And within 3-week time period of meeting with her several times, she agrees to hire me. So within 3 weeks of us getting married, I get a job offer to come to China. Now, after that, it took about a 5.5 month process because we just got married. We just had our oldest daughter and nobody had a current passport. So we all had to get passports. And once we did that, I left with our oldest daughter before Rodney in July of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Got to China, and within 90 days, that opportunity turned it to be crazy because the person who recruited me, I found out that she was running her business illegally.
Oh.
And by that point, I had started making, introductions and relationships with people who I guess she had been telling, like, hey, we're going to get somebody here because I was cutting men's hair, coloring men's hair, women. They were all, everybody was coming. I think the owner of that place, she didn't really understand. She was not in the hair business. So there were a lot of things that she didn't know. And I think she grossly underestimated me. So long story short, I left that situation and ended up being supported by an executive for IBM Asia in Shanghai, who was like, well, don't leave. We need you here. And let me tell you, from December 2013, when stuff really started unraveling, until about April 2014, which is just 4 months later, I started a business by myself. I hired a lawyer. I had turned a part of my house into a studio until I got my first location. Rodney, through a client of mine, ended up getting a job at an international American school where he stayed for the remainder of the time that we were in China. And that's pretty much how we got to China and stayed.
Rodney, what was the name of that school? I forgot.
It was Shanghai Livingston
American
School, say LAS.
SLS.
Champions in 2018, 19, and then, hell
COVID
broke loose. I didn't get a chance to celebrate the win, it's like, yeah, we won. COVID dip, niggas. So I didn't get so all my former players, miss y'all guys. I know all them grown now, some have kids, some in the military, a lot of modeling, they doing a lot of stuff. So I'm proud that, I reached a lot of kids out there. I had fun though. I had a blast.
Yeah, three of my players, 2 of them play for the Shanghai Sharks now.
Oh
wow, okay.
Yeah, and I got a third one. I think he's either in Shenzhen or I can't remember where he's playing. But yeah, 3 of my guys made it to the CBA. So that's like,
yeah,
man. So I feel you, and I got kids. It's funny because in China, and we all know if we spend any substantial amount of time around Asians, it's education first, second, third, or fourth, or fifth.
Sixth, eighth.
Everything else
Fourth is last on the list.
Most of the time, it's going to be debate, and then it's going to be science club, math club, and some kind of instrument.
Violin, piano.
Karate. Yeah, because we had a basketball banquet, and one of my kids from YK got up on a grand piano and started playing Mozart. Little 13-year-old dude just out of nowhere. And I'm just sitting there like, whoa, I didn't know you had that.
Yep, them kids are different, man.
Yeah, man. They put their kids into everything.
Man, listen, for them jokers to be going to school at like 8 in the morning, then after school you gotta go to academy, and they don't get out of that just until like 11, 12. Then you gotta try to go to sleep. so you can wake up and
Most
do
of
it
them don't finish
all over
homework till
again,
like 2 in
yo.
the morning
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
and then be up at 6
and
to get
then you
ready for
want to play
school.
sports too on top.
Right.
I don't know how them kids. I don't. Well, I know how some did it. some was, yeah, they were sipping. So you know what I'm saying, to
Or
keep
popping
themselves and
pills.
popping pills. So
Right.
like
Joe.
education come first.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Man. All right. So you arrive in China. What were your first thoughts?
Oh, my first
Ooh,
thoughts. Ooh, man,
Well,
listen,
who
bro.
got there first? India? Did you
India
get
me.
got
there
there first.
first?
Yeah.
Okay, so India. When you got there, what were your first thoughts?
Well, like I said, I had no expectations, and I had lived in Asia before. I lived in Japan when I was younger.
Mhm.
And I will say, I obviously saw the organized chaos of being in China, which is something you would never see in at least in my opinion, in Japan. Because if you're like in Tokyo, yeah, it's a whole lot of people, but they still have like it's not chaotic the way China is. They have a very herd mentality. I think the funniest things for me initially when I got there was getting there in the summertime and not expecting it to be as humid as it was, because I literally got there like within the last week of July, and I was shocked at how hot it was and humid
Yeah.
it was. So that was like the first thing. The second thing was the monopoly money. The money just looks like something somebody would print off and make themselves.
Yeah.
But largely, to be honest, outside of maybe the United States, I feel like money from all countries, especially in Asia, look like that. Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, all the money looks
Yeah.
weird.
Turkey the same.
Yeah. Euros have a tendency to look like that too. But
Yeah.
I think for me, the biggest thing was the language barrier. Um, not knowing anything really about Mandarin or its tonal nature or anything like that. And my oldest daughter, who's now 13, she was 2 when we got there. And she was speaking Shanghai Wild dialect within the first 9 months of us being there. Like she picked it up really fast. And it was actually funny how we found out that she could speak Chinese because we were on a visa run going to Hong Kong after we had been there for 9 months. And she was like, "Mommy, can I pay the taxi?" And I was looking at her like, okay. And she gave it to him and just started speaking like she had always been speaking forever. And me
Wow.
and Rodney in the back seat, like, what the fuck just happened? And we're like, both like, don't say anything because we don't want her to stop.
And Asian dude is laughing, and he talking back, and
He's
it's like full
dying.
conversation. He shocked too, like, yo, oh shit, she know how to speak this. Oh, and I'm sitting there like, yo, you serious? Like, when you
Yeah.
hold up, damn.
And by this time she's 3 because we've been there 9 months.
Right.
And then she gonna make you want to feel stupid, like, duh, you should have been known. I know how to speak this long time ago.
But
Like, nigga, you didn't know this. Like,
Never did it.
she had never said anything in Mandarin at all
oh,
before that day, aside
Okay.
from Ni Hao.
Yeah, and that's a trip because I know my reaction when I saw the video of the girls on the playground with their Chinese friends, and these 2 little black babies just started speaking straight Mandarin.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
And yeah.
I think for Nyla, one reason why it became, who's my oldest daughter, why it besides the fact that she was young and they soak it up any language very early, was the fact that when we got there, we didn't have a lot of foreign friends. Like before my husband got there, all the kids that my daughter came into contact were Chinese only. And
Mhm.
so we had no idea about areas that were more expat driven or places where expats hung out. Like we were actually living a Chinese experience. So
Yeah.
everything about what we did was heavily
Local.
it was heavily local. I'm looking at the comments.
Yeah.
Bro, we didn't even know that the McDonald's had a damn app that you could. I was going to the McDonald's like myself, riding my scooter there. Go like we didn't know about all the SF and all the other stuff like that until like later, like what, a year or two
Well,
later.
nah, not even that. Not for me, because I'll tell you what, man. People talk about pregnancy being a superpower in some
Mhm.
respects. It wasn't until we got pregnant with our second daughter in China, because I got pregnant like within weeks of Rodney being in China. So,
Right on, Rodney.
You know what I'm saying?
so once pregnancy came about, it was like, okay, I got no time to be like BSing on picking up characters and language, and it forced me to learn Taobao, it forced me to learn JD.com, it forced me to learn Didi, because there were no English options at that time yet for that
Mhm.
stuff. Like there weren't. So I had to learn how to order everything baby by using characters and pictures and all kinds of things like that. And so within the first year of being there, every single thing that we had that was for a baby, maybe 90% of it was ordered online, because I had to teach myself how to do it.
Yeah.
Man,
Taobao is a game changer.
man, listen, boy.
You know, they got Amazon in the US, but Taobao
That was for all those who's watching. That's like the Amazon
of China.
of
Taobao is
China.
like Family Dollar online.
Facts, yo.
So
Or in New York, the 99
for
cent
y'all
store.
that's in the chat right now, look, check this out. So these are my people right here, India and Rodney. And you know, we were in China together for a few years. And this is for them to speak about their experience with a married couple living in China. You know, everything that we hear through media, um, they get, you know, they got a chance to experience and some, you know, the good and the bad. So this is an opportunity for them to share their experience with us, because I know I've mentioned this on other platforms before. And they're always people are always curious about, you know, what am I going to do with my family? What about my kids? You
Hmm.
know, how are my kids going to be? So, you know, that's why I have the Watkins family on today, so they can go ahead and shed some light on that, you know, and yeah, and so that we can clown and joke around and you know about everything else that we experienced there. All right, so Rodney got there, and shortly afterwards,
I got there
went
around
into
a
work.
couple of days before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
So that's when I got there. And at first, leaving here, I was sad because I had to leave my son behind and stuff like that. So that was tough right there. But I had to do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? Life goes on. I got a family to take care of. So
right.
getting on flying, China made me conquer fear of flying. Cause nigga, I had to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, things was rough back here. Shit, it wasn't popping. Like everybody think America is so popping. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
We made a business decision. Was like, yo, we got to get the fuck up out of here if we want to survive. And then a couple of years later, in the future, y'all elect Trump. What the hell?
Man,
So I'm like, glad we left. I'm like, thank God we left. So conquer my fear. That's a long ass flight. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that shit. That shit was
Yeah, from the
long.
East Coast, it's almost
It,
15 hours.
like I had to go from here to Detroit. From Detroit, then to fly all like that was long, G.
that's
But
13 straight from LA.
yeah, see, like, but
No, you flew United.
I
You
flew
flew in,
United.
you flew
No, I
into
thought Delta.
Chicago. No, you
Under
didn't.
United, yeah,
You
from
flew United
Chicago,
coming.
yeah, from Chicago, then out
Hmm.
from Chicago straight. Nah, man. But God got me there safely. At first, I was nervous as
He
hell
got there
because
2 days before
yeah,
Thanksgiving.
2 days before they said, I was like, damn, I gotta give away bud. I ain't gonna be smoking no more. I don't even know if they had liquor out that Jones. I might just be drinking. Like, you know how
Rodney
Yeah.
thought
America,
Rodney thought we was gonna be
how
in West
America,
China in the middle of
yeah,
nowhere,
how America North China hitting like crouching tiger hitting. I'm like, I'm about to go be chilling with some
living in
damn monks
bamboo.
out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? At least
Yeah,
I might be
Valley
talking to
Dream.
myself.
Oh
You
no!
know what I'm
What you
saying?
gotta tell him is the first. What happened the first night when you got to
I'm
China?
gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying goodbyes to everything. Henny, Black and Miles, Black, backwoods, all them saying bye to it. Now I gotta go the clean route. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So got there. Got to the airport, man. I was happy and pissed at the same motherfucking time. Cause everything I thought was not it. It looked
Right.
like New York, lights over here. I'm like, what? Am I at the right spot? And I'm like,
Well, it tricks you because when you fly into Pudong, it's the middle of no fucking
yeah,
where.
it looked
Right.
like dessert. I was like, yep, I'm gonna be with the monks. Looking out the window, I was like, this woman got me out here with the motherfucking monks. I was like, shit, I might as well. I listen to Wu-Tang, so I might as well learn some Shaolin Kung Fu out this bitch. So landed, looking around. I'm like, ooh, I'm like, the airport is clean. Nothing on the like clean, my G. Like you can eat off the like clean. And I'm seeing the soldiers there. I was like, I ain't leave. I don't got nothing on me. I'm going through security. I'm like walking through. I see people with the signs with their family names, and I'm looking for my wife. I'm like, where's she at? But not knowing she done lost weight because she was eating healthy and all that stuff.
Walking
She
everywhere.
walking out. I couldn't recognize her ass. I'm like,
All my
what the
clothes,
heck?
all my clothes was hanging off
Yeah,
of
I was
me.
like, oh, once I saw
That's
her
why
there,
you got pregnant.
up
Short
there, you know, saying,
Yeah, I lost 52
yeah,
pounds in almost 6 months, and a lot of it was from stress. On top of that, because my husband, I told him in hindsight later on, I told him it was taking so long. We was expecting Rodney to be in China no later than August or September, and he didn't get there till November. And I had said to myself in my head, if my husband didn't get there by the first week in December, I was out. And he literally made it within days because I was serious.
and he
yeah.
went to work.
So we got there, you know, happy to see her. We hug her, you know, say we get out the airport, got a taxi. Now this shit right here, they drive motherfucking crazy. I'm like, yo, homeboy was balling on the highway, and other cars. I'm like, yo. And why that happened, I'm scared for that one. But I'm looking out, and you just see the sky ride, like the lights and the bridge, and it just looked
Yeah,
futuristic as fuck. I'm like, New York on crack. Steroids, whatever heroin, whatever drug is all mixed together. Like it looks so future futuristic.
And for people who like, if anybody's never been to New York that's listening to this, or you've never been out the country, literally, Shanghai, you could tell was built with the model of New York. For one, the Wangpu River separates the east and the west, just like the Hudson does New York City and New Jersey. And then the everything, the side that the airport is on that Rodney calls Poo Jersey, that's Pudong. And then Puxi is where the city is. And there are 24 million people that live in Shanghai alone.
it's 30 now.
There's more now, right?
Not well. Maybe not now. After 1.2 million expats left, but but at the time, I feel like it had gotten to around 27 million. But for context, like the city of Wuhan, where COVID originated, that's considered a small city, and that was that was what, 11 million or 5 million people who left at the time. I saw somebody in the comments say they flew into Hong Kong, cleanest airport they've ever been in, but I'll beg to differ. And I've traveled to more than 30 countries, and I'll tell you the two cleanest airports I ever been to was Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore.
Cleanest airports by far.
Singapore.
In the Singapore airport, there's a freaking butterfly garden. Okay, there's like it's actually a crime. You can actually go to jail there for littering. Man. Like you can literally eat off the street. They're so clean.
Dubai.
And what was the other airport you said?
Damn Total Recall and how fucking hot that bitch is.
Well, yeah,
I'm trying to breathe and I'm like,
they're hot air. Singapore.
Like that shit was
steal your breath. What was the other airport you said?
We lost sound.
No, I hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you guys. What was the other?
We lost sound somehow.
Yeah.
Oh no, I hear y'all. I haven't heard Rodney's sound effects. Oh, they had it. Oh, they'll probably tap back in. Yeah, these my peoples right here. Oak Cliff, what it do? What it do? Welcome. They got my people on here from China. Well, they're not in China anymore, but Black Americans who lived abroad and raised a family in China. So, talking about that experience. All right, here we go.
We
I could
got
hear,
kicked out
I could hear
from,
y'all the whole time.
huh?
I could hear y'all fine the whole time.
Oh yeah, we couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. What was the second airport that you said?
Dubai.
Singapore and Dubai airport,
Dubai.
definitely the cleanest airport we've been in. And I was saying that Singapore airport has a butterfly garden in it.
Yeah.
Like they're very, very clean. Like I've never seen anything. But then again, the way they talk about their airline, like that's also one of the best rated one of the best airlines in the world. But their airport is like something you've never seen before between Dubai and there. I mean, Dubai, that's something else. But getting back on topic, China was definitely an experience that I wish the picture that we could share was, I think the first time I met Keith, or Boss as everybody knows him, is I threw a Thanksgiving party. The reason why this story is meaningful is because, just like he said, people don't think that Black people live in China.
Yes.
And that I remember posting that picture on Facebook where I had 45 Black people, and some of them and their kids from all over the United States who I hosted Thanksgiving. And we talking about not, when you're talking about Black people as the diaspora, we talking about people from everywhere, the Caribbean, Africa, United States, wherever. And I had people like, that's China? I'm like, yeah. What you think I photoshopped all these people in my house? Like, yes.
Right.
And so for 3 years in a row, I continued to do these Thanksgiving parties with all of these Black people, and everybody would be so surprised, like, yo. And I'm like, these is just the Black people that's our friends and associates. That's not indicative of what the Black people that's actually in China, because South China has their own version of what they call Chocolate City, and that's Guangzhou, and there's a lot of African, well, I'll say was, because COVID kind of changed that and ran them out. But at the time, that was the largest. No, they ran, a lot of them are not there anymore. That had the largest amount of Black people in China.
Mm-hmm.
Due to it being close to Hong Kong, and people who had a lot of e-commerce marketing and stuff going on with their home countries in there. A lot of things are made in Guangdong province.
Yeah, but mine's different though. I experienced the Black experience the second day.
That's true, and that was a thing, which is why that's really like why I said that's another important, because remember, he got there 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Right.
I was invited to someone else's party, my first one ever, and that was my first time being around that many Black people in China.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, "Oh shit, we got Black folks here." I was like, "All right, cool." Then the same first night, you remember I told y'all I said goodbye to Mary Jane, my main thing, and said bye to her and everything. But not behold, the Lord had me. The Lord had me. Like, I know you
first night in China,
waters, you went across seas.
All right, Rodney.
He's like, I got your Indo-wee. So I'm like, damn. I'm chilling. I'm looking around. Everybody drinking. One of my boy, Hugh, he like, yo, he like, you smoke?
Please don't say that name.
He's part of the story, though. He's part of my welcoming party to Shanghai. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, you got it. And he's like, you smoke? I was like, oh, hell yeah. So the first night, bang, got litty. So I was happy about that part. But it was so good to see us there, though, to be honest. Because I was like, yeah, I'm going to be around nothing but Asian folks, but not behold, that's what happened, that came to be my couple of years there. Because the first, 2 months? I think, first 2 months, shit, I didn't even want to leave the crib, bro. I was that nervous. I'm like, I don't know, like we was in the area that was mostly Asians, yo. We ain't had no other expats, but probably a white couple, or that's probably it.
European, yeah.
Yeah, one European, and then just us in the building. Like, yo, when I say she did the damn thing, I'm walking. We
You
pulled
remember
up.
that apartment?
Remember our first apartment, right?
Yeah.
We pulled up. I'm looking out there. I'm like, oh damn, we in the projects, yo. I'm like, shit. I was like, we in the motherfucking projects. We walked through. Then I'm like, oh shit, this project got security. And the security guards let us in. No, 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 ni hao, ni hao. Apparently, they knew I was coming because they was happy to see me. Like, it was cheers out that bitch. So we got into the building. There's some more security there. Like, all the apartment complexes have security. They may not be worth shit. Some may be
Right.
good. Some may be
They might be
extra.
sleep on the job.
You know what I'm saying?
Miss
Some may
Tia
be
laughing.
extra, but they
That's my
got
mom.
security.
Oh,
They
that's
be
your
on
mother?
it.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Hey,
Hey, Mom, just so you know, India might be family. Good
oh
grief.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll have to talk about that at the end. Let me tell you, China brought some very full circle moments because there were actually. Listen, I met somebody in China who knew my grandfather. Do you know how like crazy that is? My grandfather's 85,
Shit.
by the way.
You met somebody in China that was best friends with your mama.
Yep, I met somebody whose stepmother, who God rest her soul, she passed since COVID, but her son, her stepson, who's one of my really good friends, we did not know that she knew my mom, and that was like my mom's best friend. Just
I think you know
absolutely
Tamel.
crazy.
You should know Tamel.
Yeah, Tamel. It was Tamel's sister's mom.
Wow.
Crazy.
The world is small.
The world is very small. There are a lot of people we're connected to, but since you brought that up and your mom is listening, mom, so my mother's side of the family, they're Adams. So all the Adams in Hartford, Connecticut, or Johnsons are all my family. They are originally from a small town in South Georgia called Smithfield. And it came up because recently, well, not recently, when we first came back from COVID and all of us started adding each other on Facebook, and I got Keith on Facebook, I saw that he was friends with my cousin on Facebook. And she asked me, how you know him? And I was like, oh, he was in China with us. And then I asked him, how you know them? Oh, I know them. Yeah. So I told him he needs to take a DNA test on Ancestry or something, because we are all in there, but all the Adams and Johnsons.
Yeah. That's just so wow. Man, oh man.
Oh,
Wow.
so let me go. I know you're about to have your family
No.
reunion.
That's
Wow.
I said my
The
part.
light
Me
brights is about to have
and
family
mom's.
reunion.
We can all talk off
Offline.
offline about this.
But after, so we're going. I think we're in the projects, yo. To find out, we get to a floor and find out it's like moving on up like the
We were on the
Jeffersons out
24th
that
floor.
bitch. Open the door. I'm looking like, damn. I'm like, this is our crib. She's like, yeah. Go there. They have
Keep in mind, he had seen it on FaceTime, but I
yeah.
don't think he really
Knew how
conceptualized
big this
it.
bitch was. But
Right.
walked in, they had it on like the separate, like in China, you don't have to buy furniture. It comes with already furnished. You can switch it in and out if you want to buy something new.
But I had a bomb situation though.
Yeah. I don't know how she worked that out, but got there, saw the dining room looking good, saw the living. I was like, damn. I'm like, wow.
So for perspective, what I mean by bomb situation, which is something that doesn't happen often, is that yes, the apartments come furnished, but in this case, the landlord was Shanghainese originally and had immigrated to America when he was a kid, so he was an American citizen. He grew up in Chicago and was married to a Shanghainese woman, and they were going through a divorce, and that apartment was the apartment that his parents gave him when they got married. So since they were going through a divorce, he was like, I'm not physically attached to anything in here. He was like, only thing you can't sell is the piano and the refrigerator. And I think he said the dining room or something. And I like the dining room set anyhow. So he was like, if you don't like the living room, the bedrooms, he was like, do what you want with it. I was like, word. So I sold everything and bought all new shit, leather, couches, beds, everything. So it looked amazing. And keep in mind, there were 3 balconies in the house that flowed into the apartment. One in the living room, and
Damn.
one in the master, and one in one of the girls' room. So it was really nice.
It was what, 3 bedrooms?
It was 3 bedrooms, 2
baths.
bathrooms.
Man,
Man.
yes, it looked like an American style crib in the kitchen, but
And we stayed in that apartment for 4 of the 6 years that we were there.
That place was dope, and like it was, man.
But the second apartment got better. It was it got better. If we would still been in China, we would have definitely stayed.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, we would definitely.
Hell yeah.
And that last apartment, because the last apartment was near the Bund and People Square, and it was an even bigger apartment, and it had something that you don't often see in China, which is it had a walk-in closet and an ensuite bathroom.
For the cheap though.
Yep.
For the cheap though, like jokers would pay.
It had private entrance.
They probably pay $1 million for an apartment like that in New York.
Yeah, it was on the 28th floor, which was 4 floors higher than the last apartment, and it had a great view of the Suzhou River.
And the city.
Yes, the Suzhou River was a smooth little setup.
Man, but I didn't know like how futuristic that place really was. Like America's light year behind. The electric scooters I used to ride after work and like drive around the city and just like wild, like man.
How about tell the story?
I had a bike crew, yo. So you know what I'm saying? We have our own bike club,
biker boys.
You know what I'm saying? Now with the shared bikes.
He should tell you about when I was pregnant with Fabiana, the first time he got lost on his bike on the other side of the city, and I had to come rescue him while some Chinese people held him hostage in a restaurant.
No.
No, they're not.
Held me hostage. No,
you know how they like to make you drink, Keith?
That's my joke.
Right now, this America. They be twisting shit. It's America. No, they did not keep me hostage.
Yes,
okay?
We're just joking.
Right.
That's their way. That when I say that, and yes, it's true because I know people are listening like what, and they're taking everything literally because I realize everybody here doesn't know me. But the Chinese have a way of when they're trying to get to know you or doing business with you, they want to drink and they cannot hold their liquor. And I'm talking about they have the kind of liquor, it's called baijiu, that's basically like their version of what Southern people would call corn liquor. Like it's Chinese hooch. Like
moonshine. Chinese moonshine.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know they had other liquors. The baijiu was my shit. It's strong as fuck, but that's the only thing I knew that was there. So for those 2 years, I was drinking baijiu. That's how I built.
If you want to get fancy, you get the Muay Thai, which it's still baijiu, but it's the high class kind.
Yeah, nigga, they didn't have that baijiu. The high class.
I actually drank that within the first month that I was there, but I didn't know that's what I was drinking.
Man. It was baijiu before the club, baijiu after the club, baijiu during the club. Like, all right, so what was talking about? All right, so
when you got stranded.
Oh, I got stranded. All right, once again, chilling with my homeboy. This when we started getting creative because in China, man, you can make a business out of everything. So at first, we started with the Sports Talk Shanghai. That's when me and him had the podcast before the Joker started having podcasts.
This was early on before that.
This was after that. This was during that time because we had to go film at a Comic-Con kind of.
That was the same time that the bike got.
That's
we had to leave the bike.
Yeah, that's when I got stranded. All right, so we found Popeye spinach. So doing the spinach, riding the scooters. You know what I'm saying, running away from the cops when they try to catch us because our bikes was illegal as fuck. Because we had like the Batman looking scooters that you could hop over the curbs in case they jump. Hey!
You could jump down the stairs.
Man, we out. So, we smoking, sipping on baijiu. We went to go film at the comic thing. So, it was all right. Let's get our content. We filming around the campus, all that. And it started getting dark. And I was like, yo, I busy bullshitting, didn't charge my phone and all that.
Or the bike.
Or the bike. Yeah, or the bike. So, I was like, yo, Hugh, I was like, bro, I got to dip. Yo, I got to get back because I don't know where I'm at. He was like, just use the GPS on your phone and it'll show you how to get there. I bet. riding around like 30 minutes.
Mind you, he hasn't learned one Chinese
Not church,
character.
no, left from right, up, down, southwest. Like I don't know shit. So I'm like showing the GPS turn here, and I'm all like, what the fuck am I going? All of a sudden, the phone going do 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 do. I'm like, oh no 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 no. Then at the same time, getting a little bit further, I'm like, I call India. I was like, I think I'm lost. I think I'm lost. Phone off. I was like, fuck.
2 hours. I can't talk to him.
I'm like, fuck.
Damn.
So I'm riding around. I'm like, all right, this mean north, trying to figure out the bike battery started going down lower, going down lower, going down lower. By this time, it's motherfucking dark. And I'm like, where the fuck am I at? Not knowing I was by the fucking bun. And that was like, what, 15 minutes? No, like 20 minutes away from my crib.
Yeah, because we lived in Geong, the F initially.
So I'm bike, start, you know, when to get that little jerk, that battery's gone. And I'm like, okay, so I'm over there pushing the bike on the side of the road, trying to find a charging station so I can plug the bike up to charge it for at least an hour. But phone's dead, and you know they use everything on the phone to pay shit. They don't use cash. Like I ain't carry cash because I can pay with my phone. The WeChat, boop 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 boop. Can't pay shit if your phone's dead. So I can't get no energy. I'm like, what the fuck? So I finally.
Oh, somebody must have called. We'll get them back in here in one moment. Yeah, man, they got some stories for that ass. Oh, I saw the baby fro. I saw the baby fro. Yeah, that good WeChat. That's that
WeChat,
good
Joe. That is a lifesaver. WeChat, Joe. You
Big
can
time.
pay your bills. You can buy a scooter. You can shop. You can order sneakers. You can light bill, whatever you want on that one app. That's one thing Facebook is lacking.
Right.
Because you can plane tickets, movie tickets, all on that one app. Set up groups
I got so good at it. I
to
used to do
find
all kind of
jobs.
stuff.
Like you just join groups to find jobs, and they be posting here and find out what this is at. What this
Rodney did.
man.
I used to do everything on there. One year, the first year that we wanted to go to Thailand, Rodney didn't believe me, but by then, Fabiana, who was born there, she was one, and I got us round trip tickets to Thailand and back for $500 for 4 people.
Damn.
I was like, because she learned how to do all the
Because
characters.
I
and stuff.
learned how to.
Y'all recognize this person right here?
No,
Ain't that Erica?
Chicago.
I don't know who that is.
That's the one that what's her name? Erica,
Kristen.
asked for the sneak. Kristen. Oh yeah, Kristen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen. Yeah, her ass is in she was in Vietnam.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Well, I know some people are going back, yo.
Good.
Yeah, but a lot of people aren't
back.
being honest too about how things are. Like I was talking to my old. One thing is, I will say this: it's very easy as an expat to go to these places when you start improving your life in terms of finances, specifically because you're able to spend. Um, like you can really live the life you want to live in China. I mean, to the average Chinese person, that we look wealthy, but really and truthfully, it's just that they live a different type of their standard of living is different than ours.
Yeah.
But you really can get lost and trapped in a bubble of thinking that that's the way life is everywhere, and it's not. And what I mean by that is for us, it's been 4, almost 5 years, and it's still really hard to acclimate to anything here after being there for so long.
Came back to the
And
Twilight Zone. That's why. Came back to the fucking Twilight Zone.
and there's an extreme amount of young single people who have never been out the country that come there too that start acting For those that don't know, Americans have a reputation in other countries as being arrogant because a lot of us go to other places and expect it to be exactly like it is at home. But you have to remember that it's your host country, it's not your country. And when you come there, you know, people say things about like, well, I used to hate when I would hear people say, and if it's not a place that's geared or caters towards expat, you shouldn't expect them to speak English. And the amount of Americans I would hear trashing businesses over them not speaking English, and it's like, well, you live in China. So you have to, you know, you have to for survival. And I did business there, so I didn't have a choice. The partners that I made that helped me navigate Chinese business, it's better for you to talk to actual native Chinese people than talking to expats, because every expat that lives there, in majority, their life is better. And yeah, they making money and da 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 da. But the reality is the Chinese's economy is just as bad, if not worse than ours right now. They're not making any money. I actually just spoke to my old partner a couple of days ago, and he was telling me how it's very hard to make money in China right now. He was like, people do not have all the expendable income that they once had since COVID. His business has gone down significantly. And you know, that's the real that you're not hearing from expats, because of course, just like we did, they went there to make more money, save more money, and whatever their goals were. And like the person in the comments said, America's only good for the dollar, if you ask me. Now imagine the people who come there that work for some of those Fortune 500 companies who are making $100,000-$200,000. What you think their salaries translate to in Chinese yuan? Yeah, they live in like kings and queens there because they're not paying rent. Their companies are paying the rent mostly. They're probably only paying utilities and groceries. So they're able to pocket a lot of that money, and their salaries, if you translate it into yuan, let's say if they made $10,000 a month, that's like 50,000, 60,000, almost 60,000 RMB a month. And if you're not paying no rent and you're not paying car notes because you got a driver, I mean, you're just pocketing that money. I'm not going to say how much money I was making, but I made more than the average expat who was not working at a Fortune 500 company because I owned my own business. But I had to still, what's easier in China that's not in the US is it was easier to see the fruits of my labor. I worked 6 days a week for 3 years before my business could be basically autopilot. After 3 years of working 6 days a week, I was able to go down to working 3 days a week and make the same amount of money, if not more. But that's because my business had been established. That's not everybody's story who started a business there.
Right. Yeah, you could live it up, because I had a teacher job for my brother. I already had a 2-bedroom apartment, and so, you know, I told my brother, man, look, you can come on out here and stack up, you know, stay with me, send some money home to your daughters every month, and you know, save the rest. You like to cook, shit, nigga, the grocery store down the street,
and it's cheap. Food is cheap.
Yeah, I tell people, listen, I will give, you want to talk about food? That's a very good topic. For one thing I like about living in China that reminds me of New York is the wet markets. Produce in America is one of the most expensive things, meaning fresh fruits and vegetables, and it doesn't last that long.
Right.
You literally, let's say in our first neighborhood where we live, there was a wet market right next door where you could get fresh meat, fresh produce, and everything. And literally, I had it down to a science where I knew which days of the week that the trucks were coming from the countryside to bring new product. You could get when we first came back in 2020 during the pandemic, for a family of 4, the groceries was like $500-$600 a month, which is still pretty expensive. Now in 2024, for a family of 4, food costs more like $1,200 to $1,400 a month if you're not eating out and all you're doing is eating at home here. Now in China, you could get a bag full. You could get what would be the equivalent of a pack of wings, get all the fruit you want,
all the greens you want,
all the vegetables you want, and you still don't even spend $20. And so it was easier to put yourself on a, let's say, 100 RMB, which is only like $15 and some change, could feed you
2 days, 3 days.
Well, no,
If you
if you
work
if you
it,
buying if you buying like your dinner every day, that literally
but that's 10 quid though. So
and
that's
you
like
literally maybe out of 7 days a week
you can
probably could
survive
take
of
that
100.
100 R and
You can
B.
survive of 100 off for $15.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
had to, because
So
and
and if you single,
good.
oh my
hell
God,
yeah.
forget about it. You go to the Muslim noodle shop and spend 10 R and B for
And remember, you're a teacher. If you're working in education, you're getting your crib paid for. So
well,
basically,
partially.
partially paid for. So you making out like a bandit. So you got money to go
It
to the
really just depends
club,
on the package
do
that
this,
you
do that.
come on.
Yeah.
And for us, it was a different story, just probably like it was for you and a lot of people. We didn't come to China on no fancy smashy packages. To
Right.
put stuff in perspective, when I said I came there and things didn't work out later with that lady who brought me there, I came to China with $300 in my pocket. $300, what? 2,300 RMB, maybe something like that. Uh, that money lasted. I didn't get my first paycheck till a month after I got to China, but that money was able to buy groceries. It was able to pay for taxis. It was able to do a lot of things for coming there with nothing. We sold everything that we had in our home, got rid of our car. Like there were a lot of things that we did. There was no package. We didn't come on nobody. We had a daughter who was 2, almost 3, and we didn't even know how she was going to go to school. We didn't know anything about the fact that Rodney could teach in China. He just was following me. Rodney just happened to have already been a teacher in the US. And even though he was following my dream, that was really something that fell in his lap while I was pregnant. When she was like, "Oh, didn't you say your husband looking for a job?" They hired him for a summer and liked him so much that they offered him a full-time contract. And then that's how our kids were able to go to school. But that was not anything that we planned on. It just was the right place at the right time with the right people who ended up looking out because of the situation that we were in. And that is something that is great about the expat community. For the people who are whether you are like well traveled or not, when you go to a place like China, your community is everything, because um not everybody has the same experience as you. In
Right.
order to survive, you have to depend on the people around you to show you what's what. That's how I found out everything about having a baby, where I was going to have my baby, where I was going to get prenatal care, the different groups I belong to, even down to how my husband got a job, literally because of a client who later became a friend.
Right.
That's
Yeah, that's true.
everything. Whereas here, China, really word of mouth works much faster there than it does. Like, you think in the United States that used to be how business was done, but
Face to face.
in China that still works that way. It's definitely all in who you know, and you really have to rely on your community for you to excel at places.
Exactly.
Facts.
Yo, game night.
Ah.
Hold on. Hold on. Let's go back to Thanksgiving, because that was my at y'all place. That was my first Thanksgiving in China.
Was it?
Celebrating it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because other times I was out there back in the day as a player, I didn't celebrate that shit. I don't really like to celebrate it now anyway. But,
I don't either.
Facts.
I don't either. But that place met, what Keith is talking about is definitely true. I'm not a person who celebrates Thanksgiving, and it's Indigenous Peoples Day to me. But for the purposes of being expats, even though people are there for whatever their purpose of, everybody wants to feel a little slice of home. So the fact that I could put up Christmas decorations and a tree and decorate everything, and by the way,
and yes, they do celebrate Christmas in China now.
Yeah, it's more commercialized.
And
probably
there's
worse.
Christians in China too. They're trying to say, "Oh, they're gonna kill."
They go big with those.
Yeah, they go big for dad jokes.
And we lived in a neighborhood that was in one of the busiest shopping districts outside of People's Square. Jiang has all the high, pretty much you could equivocate it to Fifth Avenue in New York or 42nd Street in Broadway. Like that's how Nanjing Shenglu is. Every store, Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, like everything was like within a 5-block radius from our house.
But the craziest thing is, that's why saying was on steroids. It would be one big ass mall with like 8 floors on one or like
Oh
one
yeah, IMPM Mall
one
was my
spot.
favorite.
Then next door to it is another big ass mall with like 8 floors and different stores, and then you go across the street. Right across the street is another motherfucking big ass mall that is like, but all of them is different, and it's real.
Keith, you know what?
Crazy.
6 years of living in Shanghai, Global Harbor was one of my favorite malls, and I got lost there. I don't care how many times I went. That mall is 12 floors, and I would get lost every time. We would come to the same entrance every time, but every time it was time to leave, we would get lost. It never failed.
They did shopping to the extreme. Yep, like ridiculous.
But Thanksgiving, he wants to talk about the game night.
So the game night.
Hold on. I walk into your apartment first of all, and I'm like, damn. You motherfucker, damn, that's how they doing it? That's how they doing it? I'm like, do you see what it do? I'm like, oh my goodness, this is how y'all doing it in Shanghai, huh?
Yep, the bar full of liquor, food on the table, jokers playing spades on one table, people playing this.
I had so many people asking me how I made all the food, because since people didn't have ovens, the only thing I had made was I actually ordered turkeys from the Hilton Hotel, but I made all the food that was there.
Listen.
And everybody kept asking me, how did you make this food in that kitchen?
Listen, it's a whole...
And I was 4 months postpartum of my newborn. And people were like, you must be crazy. And I was like, I don't know what it was, but...
Listen, and that food was slamming. It was off the chain. Everybody got full.
Yeah.
And then, you know, for y'all that like to imbibe, they got full too. Remember, India, I kept hitting up the coffee. Y'all got coffee. You know what I'm saying?
We had a reputation for people leaving our house between 4 and 7 o'clock in the morning every time we had a party.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we did party till the sun came up, yo.
And then game night with the flesh.
A lot of battles, man.
With Stan and them, you know, Stan and Lynn.
Yeah.
Can we say that name?
Yeah.
Can we say that name?
I mean, that's no comment.
Look, I've never seen Uno become so intense.
What?
Oh my gosh.
What?
I stopped playing cards with everybody.
Uno game was just intense and loud, and just that whole side of the room was just lit.
Hell yeah, I'm over there talking shit.
I mean, I'm like, okay, which one of these niggas about to flip the table? One more talk. Somebody
we had to, but imagine, but Keith, imagine like you seeing that, and like we had probably like 3 Asian folks there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we even had black people that was inviting Chinese people.
Imagine their vision of seeing black folks in that environment, chilling, drinking, lit music blasting, and they see us about to almost rumble over Uno that they don't even know the game. They don't know.
Because
you got Keith, do you remember the night
that game wasn't even that intense?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, man?
Here's a laugh. Keith, do you remember that night, one of the many game nights at Stan's, where there was a guy from Beijing that worked for Deloitte, and he thought he was doing so. The big thing for all of us was, at the time, you could get Popeyes at the Hong Kong airport.
Yeah.
And I won't say her name, but there was a young lady who, I guess she got the last biscuit, and he was drunk and started tripping. Now, I had just came home from a long day in the salon, and he started popping off on her, and all the guys were standing outside on the balcony smoking. So nobody is, I'm talking about, like, he was acting like he was getting ready to, like, beat her up over this biscuit. And I was like, y'all just gonna stand there and not say anything? So I just was like, excuse me. Yeah, he was like, I was like, is there a problem? He was like, man, I was like, if you really about to do all of that over a biscuit, if you don't shut the whole fuck up, like, if it's that serious, you better take your ass back to Hong Kong tomorrow and get you. It was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. He literally was about to start a fight over, and later on, it really was funny because looking back now, Shanghai has a Popeyes, but back then you only could go to Hong Kong in the airport to get it. So the fact that he was about to like beat this girl up over a Popeyes biscuit was absolutely ridiculous.
Popeyes was hard to get, dude. It was the principalities. You know what I'm saying? You knew I brought the box. Why you couldn't leave me a biscuit? The principalities.
Who's Gio? She said they said it ain't that good to act like that over food, honey. If you would have known how hard people was going, like even me, I remember when I used to do visa runs, or when I would go back to the States when I stopped in Detroit. I would get a whole box of chicken and biscuits and put it under my seat so I could bring it back.
Hell yeah.
Like that's how, like it was like the thing, like you got Popeyes. People was acting like you discovered gold.
Jokers used to plan trips to go to Popeyes and then catch a flight there and then come back. That's how hard
Visa run meant Popeyes.
That was like your victory lap. Like you about to come back in the country. You like, yo, I made it to Hong Kong, coming back, got me some Popeyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, take a picture, hey. Yeah, niggas, I got Popeyes. I ain't got shit. Get me popping over here. Like, that's how it was. Yeah, I got the biscuits.
Oh, and I have to big up my husband because I wish I could have shared this picture before we met you, Keith, when Fabi was born. One of the real big reasons that introduced Rodney into sports was because when I was pregnant with Fabiana, we was sitting at that restaurant called Paris Tour in French Concession, and we were outside eating. And big ups to PJ if he ever sees this. PJ is this big white dude, Irish white dude from Long Island. Yeah, he's like I love PJ. PJ, I think, lives in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia now. But PJ saw Rodney and was like, "Do you play football?" And Rodney's like, "I used to." And he's looking at me like, and he's about to ask Rodney, can he play? Mind you, I am 9 months pregnant. And I was I will kill you if you don't play. So because of him, Rodney got introduced to people in the expat sport community, and he got invited to do coaching for an NFL clinic that they had there when Troy Polamalu was there and some other people. Clark. So when Fabi was not even a week old, I was out there in the stands while Rodney was out there coaching.
Now that was dope, yo. Like Ryan Clark. Yo, he is funny as hell, yo. And you know he used to play. You know he used to play for my Skids, now known as the Commanders. So I was getting inside scoop on the team. He cracking jokes on like that time he wasn't on the team, so he could speak freely. And like I got to interview him and Palomalu. That joke was dope as hell. So I was
and that was around the time when he had the Head and Shoulders endorsement
when he first popped off with that. So that was cool. And then I got to meet I didn't know Shanghai had some ballers, some Asian football players, some thick boys, some dudes who are fast that can hit. But I was like, damn, y'all got a league out here? And find out it's different cities that got their teams. I'm like, wait, a whole bunch of American dudes and a whole bunch of Asian dudes, they play football out here. So we got the chance to video them and you know what I'm saying.
Fabi's godfather is actually CJ Jeffries. CJ, shout out to CJ. That we actually met her godfather there, and he is a professional athlete too. And he lives in Thailand now.
Yeah,
we got to meet so many folks, other than Boss. Like we met Greg Minor, formerly of the Boston Celtics. We there was so many. Now hometown hero who also is friends with Ty Mel, which is Marbury, he with
Yeah.
his crazy self. He actually was a big help to me when we had to move apartments. He got like his assistant to get I had just had surgery and I could
shout
not
out Marbury,
and I could not leave the apartment. And he got somebody he knew at the corporate China mobile store was able to switch our internet from one place to the other without me even leaving the apartment.
Shout out Marbury, yo. Like that community, yo.
Yeah, and stuff is just you just have access to people and so much more community that you don't have in the States because everybody is so much more about themselves that when you're there, you don't have a choice but to really rely on each other.
Hold on,
you get back to that old way that we were brought up. It takes a village.
Yeah.
Boss. You remember the scandal? The LeVar ball,
Rodney you gonna have to put some thumbnails up, Keith, because Rodney got pictures on his Facebook with him and LeVar Ball.
LeVar is cool as fuck, yo.
I knew LeVar brothers from the street.
Yeah. So, what? That's one big.
Remember, Rodney? I flew Tracy Murray out there for the shooting clinics.
Oh wow.
Tracy Murray, he played at UCLA.
Okay.
And he also do radio and television film back here in the States. Well, back there in the States, I'm saying back here. And Born Rich, what it do? And so we were actually in what's the name of that city? It's only 2 hours from Shanghai, 2.5 hours from Shanghai.
Nanjing?
Not
Nanjing. Suzhou? Was it
Ningbo?
Suzhou, not Ningbo. Damn it. Well, anyway, UCLA, the Bruins, they stayed down there, right? And we got a car, we drove down there, had a driver take us, and chilling with Bill Walton and everybody. I asked if I could talk to the team, if I could address the team, because living there and being back and forth for so many years, and I already know, I got to put them up on game on what to expect, how they're supposed to conduct themselves as Black men from America, and represent, UCLA. And the coach wouldn't let me talk to him. So we spent the whole day with him. And we were at the hotel talking to the assistant coaches and some of the players while the ball boy was out there, LeAngelo Ball, and the other two cats were at the store stealing.
Yeah. Listen, what's so funny about that is I actually won you tickets. To that game.
Yeah.
Through Leo's wife.
Yeah, through Kristen.
Okay,
yeah, she got us a ticket. But the funny thing is, remember that's when the Shanghai Sports Talk was popping with me, and he was doing the show, and we were doing all the sports predicting, and everything was popping. Now that was fun as hell to get a whole community to go really into sports and stuff like that. Right. So when I was at work, I'm at the lunch table. You just text me, yo, bro, I got inside information about da. I felt like Stephen A. out that bitch.
My man Tiger.
Feel like Stephen A. out that bitch.
He spent the night in jail with him to make sure that nothing happened to him.
Right.
And I had dropped Tracy off at the hotel, and it was only a 10-minute walk to my crib. And so I just sent the driver home, and I walked home. And as soon as I get home, my mama called me. Baby, you all right? And I'm like, okay, who died? She's like, no. I know you with the UCLA boys. And, it just hit the news here that one of them got arrested. I said, what? We just left them.
Yo, yeah. What?
Yeah. Let me call
I'll never forget that. The reason why I won't forget that is because they got basically, quote unquote, quarantined in their hotel. And I remember somebody asked me about haircuts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so you cut, that was wild, boy. That was
Tracy back, and he was like, "Bro, you ain't gonna believe this shit." I said, "Man, you heard?" He said, "Man, my mom just called." I started dying. I said, "Man, my mom just called." Hold up, what your nigga? How our mamas find out first before us, and we here?
Well, to be honest, it was on American news before it was Chinese, because that's how I heard it too, from the ESPN app.
Yep, it broke ESPN quick, bro. Them Chinese leaked that shit out so quick. They was like, "Oh, we got one."
Well, you know,
But
also too
got
that
one.
whole propaganda of Trump got him out and all this other when he didn't really.
Man, that nigga
Right,
didn't
when
do
it was
shit.
Jack Ma, the
That
owner of
nigga didn't
Sprint.
do shit.
Yeah, yeah.
He ain't
That
do
was such
shit.
bullshit. Yeah, Trump. I remember he tried to. He
That was
tried.
He was trying.
LeVar,
He was
bro.
trying to
Yeah,
say that he did that. He
yeah,
did it.
that was
Yeah,
all
he ain't had
LeVar,
shit to
bro.
do with it.
And the community working together to get him out. It wasn't no damn fucking Trump, yo.
Right. At all. At all.
Oh,
Yeah, Trump was full of full of shit with that one.
what?
Those of us who was there, we knew. You feel
Then
me?
he gonna talk about he need LeVar to apologize for trying to take all the credit. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This man's son here. He trying to get his son out. This is what you want him to apologize to your ass for not doing shit.
Right. Captain Cap.
Happened, man. And
So you have I feel like we got to do like some rapid fire questions or something. You got to ask us
Okay, look.
some
Hold
most.
on. I'm gonna open it up for the chat. Y'all go ahead in the chat. Y'all got any questions?
Yeah, I'm reading.
As Black Americans, you know, look, they had a baby in
Let me see.
in China. You know what I'm saying? So y'all
Use
got
some
any
rapid
questions?
fire
Let them
questions.
know. Go ahead and ask. Feel free.
but
Oh wait, but while we laughing about that, my favorite thing, you guys, that boss used to do. So on WeChat had his own little timeline, kind of like Facebook and Instagram and all that.
man,
And
that shit
because
was
Keith
love
is
and
so,
hip hop and Shanghai.
no,
That's
wait,
what the
no,
fuck
not
it
that,
was.
not that. Because Keith is so tall, all of these Chinese people will always try to call themselves sneaking, taking pictures of him. So he would take pictures of them back and then post it on his WeChat moments.
Yeah,
Like, how
take
you
my
see
picture,
me? I see
take
you. That's what
yours.
used to happen. You see me?
Okay,
I see you.
wait. First question: how difficult was the language barrier? Okay, so for anybody watching, I grew up in a dual language speaking house. My mother is Black American. My father is Dominican. So even though that is two Spanish and Mandarin is two different things, language barrier is very different if you don't throw out everything that you've ever been taught about other languages, because languages such as English and the Romance languages like French, Spanish, Greek, all of that, they are all Latin based. So languages like Mandarin, Korean, Japanese, Arabic, they're tonal based. So when you say a word, if you don't say the right tone, it could change the whole entirety of the word and the meaning. So that was the hardest part to get. Like, you could be saying one thing, but you might have just called somebody a name and you meant something else. So that's the biggest, especially for those of us with accents, depending on what part of the country or whatever we're from. So in my opinion, the funniest shit ever are people who had real thick Southern accents. Them trying to speak Chinese used to make me just laugh, because you just imagine a person with a twang to their accent trying to speak Mandarin and with correct tone. It's a disaster.
That's ridiculously funny.
Shit, the funniest shit, the barrier, the language barrier almost got the Chinese dude fucked up. Cause remember when we went to the store and I was trying to get some bajo, and she asked the clerk, like, where is the bajo? And he was like, nigga, like, so, like, I was like,
yeah.
I was like, yo, what? Yo,
and he looked at me like,
is this motherfucker calling me, like for real, like in my face? He about to get fucked up. And she was like, no, Rodney, no. That means Dan. That means Dan.
No, okay, so they say this word that sounds like nigga, right? And really what it is in English it translates into like a placeholder, like and, but it's like that. It's not a real word. It's like a slang thing that is like a placeholder when you're trying to get to what you're talking about. So when somebody says that, it sounds like they saying nigga over and over and over again.
Yeah, he was about to whoop my nigga. I was about to whoop his ass.
I used to get black basketball players like that when they be over there for the first time, and somebody would say nigga in the conversation. I'd be like, oh god damn. They're like, what? Wait, what this motherfucker? Man, you talking about your mama? You know what I'm saying? They getting ready to line up on him, and I gotta jump up. No, I'm just joking. You know what I'm saying? You try to
Yo, I had to get used to
break it
that.
down to something just like
Yeah.
that. But I used to have fun with that shit. Oh, man, but you know
I
what?
was like,
Me
what
and Carla talk about this a lot. How easy it was, though, to get around with the public transportation. Getting on that
the
metro.
fuck?
Okay,
People
Born Rich asks, okay, he must have missed the earlier. Is there a black population in China? If you were here earlier, you would have heard us talk about that. There is a huge black population
The
amongst the
Negroes out there.
diaspora, everything from Brazil to different African countries, the Caribbean, US, Canada, Canadians,
They are
everything.
the
There are
Negroes out
black
there.
people is definitely represented in China.
Yeah.
We out there.
Hey, Born Rich, they hosted Thanksgiving. My first Thanksgiving in Shanghai was with them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That shit
And the
was
parties got bigger every year. I think the first
yeah,
party was like right at 38. The next one was like 45. And the next one after that was over 50 people. And when I had that third one, I told Rodney, I'm burnt out. I can't have no more.
Now think about this. When I mentioned earlier, the security guards. They security guards, but really not security guards.
right.
So if you want to get a big party like that without them calling the cops and the neighbors of that, you do a little bribe rotation. You bribe them.
Buy
You
carton of
buy a
cigarettes,
carton of cigarettes.
pack of beer.
But
Yeah.
hey, we having a party here. I use my Google Translator because I didn't know how to speak that shit. So I was like, yeah, how do you say I have cigarettes for you and we having a party and need to translate for you? And oh yeah. So at first they would try to resist it because they're not supposed to be really taking it. But you just put it on there. That's how you build guanchi with them. That's how you
Gotta
build
tell them
that
what guanxi
guanchi is
is.
relationship. That's how you build
Yeah.
like, hey, you put it down there and just walk away. By then, your best friends, they will let you do whatever the hell you want. You can have
Yep.
parties, music blasting. They won't call popo. And you got to bribe your neighbors too, so they can shut up too and let you have your thing. So that is all about relationships. Like once the Chinese people know you cool and your family cool, then because they got foreigners in their building and black foreigners that they baby speak
Oh,
Chinese.
wait.
Oh, that was the icing on the
You
top.
have to
We
tell
was
them what
good.
happened the day we came home from the hospital with the baby.
Oh man. Okay. This was kind of movie esque. All right. So we coming from the hospital, right? I'm on this. Picture
This
this in your
really
mind.
happened. This
Picture
is
this. Envision
true
this. Right.
story.
The neighborhood was quiet. You see people walking down the street, and then you suddenly hear ding dong ding. That's the music. Ding dong ding. So we riding down the block, everybody just looking at us. Ding dong ding. So we got to the part, we got to the gate, right? And next thing the gate open. Ding dong
Oh my
dong.
God, Rodney.
So once they open the gate, you just see a crowd of people coming around.
That's not what happened. Okay. Man, let me get Rodney out of there. He's talking shit. Let me tell what really happened. So we had an actual horrible experience in the hospital, even though we had her, even though we had her in a Chinese private hospital. So when we came home at the time, there was another black couple who lived in the building, but they had just moved out, and she was Ethiopian and he was Black American. So once they moved out, we were the only black family that lived in the building. So they knew that I was pregnant, and the lady who ran the PTA at the school, she got her husband's driver to come get us from the hospital and bring us home. So when we came home, the security guards that were like at the little desk at front, they saw him and they asking him, baby, baby, baby. And he's like shaking his head because he's trying to like help me get out the car and, the new baby, kids, whatever. And when they see Rodney with the carrier, these folks started cheering like they was at a NBA game and Kobe just scored 100 on them. They started cheering. They was patting Rodney on the back, jumping on him and everything. And we lived on the 24th floor. So the strange part about that is we get up to the floor and then we started getting random hong bao. People was leaving on our doorstep. And if you don't know what hong bao is, it's during Chinese New Year when they give those red envelopes with the money in them.
Yes.
But when you have babies or weddings and stuff, they do that too. We also had a Canadian Chinese friend who helped us in the hospital, who she owned a convenience store in China. Let me tell you, I don't know how anybody got our phone number, but for the first 2 weeks after the baby was born, we did not cook. Or people were calling our phone going, "Hi, is this India or Rodney?" And we were like, "Yeah, who's this?" They would say, "Oh, such and such sent me and told me about what happened at the hospital. Did y'all eat today or da 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 da? What do y'all like?" And food just started showing up at the door. Like, we didn't even know who was calling or who they were, and didn't even speak to most of these people again.
Cause she birthed a Karate Kid.
And when I came out of the house, I think 7 days later, I wanted to walk around the neighborhood, and I was standing at the on the sidewalk waiting for Rodney because he had forgot something. Wait.
Yeah, that was the movie scene.
Yeah,
that was
and this lady was behind me who I had never even seen in the building before. She was Chinese, so I just assumed she didn't speak English. All of a sudden now my back is to her and she goes, "Oh, you the woman I heard had her baby." I never seen this lady before in my life. And I looked at her and I was like, "How did you know?" And she was like, "Oh, people talk." And I'm like, damn, baby 7 days old. And everybody in the building knew that I had my baby.
Okay, yeah, that's when the movie scene when we was walking in the street, and that's when the street was quiet.
People in the streets was just the whole neighborhood knew.
It was just staring. It was like, like we birthed a damn Karate Kid and shit. It was like quiet, and we was walking, looking around, like, why everybody? And then you just hear people clapping, and that's when the Karate. Like we walking around, coming to shake my hand, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Said, well, damn.
Yeah, it was, I'm like, damn.
Real talk, I think it was the first black baby they had seen born in their neighborhood because they was acting crazy.
Man, we was good in their neighborhood.
We got one. We got one.
Yes, black Ghanese, black Ghanese, black Ghanese. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I'm walking around giving the fist like, yeah, right on. I did that. Yeah, and doing the LeBron and all that, dapping people up. Saw Su Ling on the corner. I'm like, hey, what up? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Got my free rice and all that. It was like,
yeah, damn.
It was wild, bro. It was wild.
Yeah, that was a crazy, crazy experience because everywhere we went within like a 4 or 5 block radius, everybody knew I had my baby. Everybody. They were like asking questions, wanting to see, giving money. It was truly nuts. I never experienced anything like that before.
It was dope as fuck though.
So, okay. You got your baby. Everybody goes nuts in the neighborhood. What are the girls like now that they're back in the States? How are they adapted to being back in the United States for living?
I mean, at this point, they've adapted well, but Shanghai was so much a part of their life that
it was hard.
Everybody always tells us, even now that it's been some years that we've been back, that our kids are real different. And I realized that because they've had, like my youngest, of course, who is the baby that we're talking about, she is now 9 and she'll be 10 this year. And she still has extremely Chinese tendencies. She can eat noodles every day, rice every day. She does not. When we first came back, because of how our IE had her eating, she did not really like junk food or American food. And in fact, the first time that she had American style Chinese food, she threw it up.
Yeah, that's one thing I always talk about. Yeah, Mom, she was talking about Stephon Marbury. The food, real Chinese food, compared to the shit that they give you in the United States, it was fire.
Yeah, because people don't understand that. So to bring light to that situation, American Chinese food was developed after the Industrial Revolution, when Chinese people started immigrating in mass to the United States. Reason how that got developed is they didn't have the things to make, or the spices to make their sauces, so they had to use American products to try to duplicate some of the things. And fun fact, a lot of American Chinese food dishes are made with ketchup and applesauce. That is something that I learned from an American Chinese person who owned a restaurant in Shanghai. But they do not eat that. Even the
Nope.
people who own American Chinese food restaurants,
They don't
like
last long.
they do not eat the food that they serve us.
Yeah.
Hell nah. Because
Hell
one
nah.
time there was a little market downstairs from the office, and so I go down there and I get me a cup of noodle, and I got the big joint, the big spicy joint, you know. And so I'm tripping to myself like, yeah, I'm eating, cup of noodle in China. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. I get back to the office. One of my coworkers, Easton, he says, "Boss, what are you doing?" So, "Oh, man, got my cup of noodle, man. I'm about to do it up." He said, "We don't eat that shit." I said, "What? What are you doing? You watch too much TV. We don't eat that shit." He said, "Come on, I'm gonna take you down the street. I'm gonna take you to lunch, and show you how we really eat out here." They took me and I live by the stadium, by the football stadium, by
Okay.
on line 4 is at.
Yeah.
And they took me to this one spot around the corner. Man, that was where I first had food and all this other shit. Well, somebody must have called them. But the food was just off the chain, having real authentic Chinese food. It was nothing like that bullshit that they give y'all in the United States, and that shit was healthy as fuck. Like, we always get asked, what's one of the biggest things we miss about China? And absolutely, it was the food. You heard India say earlier she lost 50 pounds when she first got there. Some of it due to stress, but then to the eating, the food there.
Man, it's different over there.
Coming back to the United States after living in Asia so long will show you how much salt and sugar they put, especially sugar, in our food, because we had a hard time tolerating things with the sugar content when we first got back. Like, our gut could not handle it, like the sugary food all the time. And what people don't know actually is that in China, the way that they do food in restaurants, they actually are more harsh than we are here. They don't allow a lot of the preservatives and all
They
the
don't
crazy
allow American
stuff.
meat, yo.
Well, they do now, but back then they
didn't
didn't,
allow American meat back then
because of the mad cow disease back in the day. They were not allowed to sell American beef. So whenever you had steak, most of the time it came from Australia, New Zealand,
Argentina.
Brazil.
But the food out there was, man, the restaurants, Fat Cow, Element Fresh.
What?
Like, man.
Element Fresh went out of business during COVID.
They eating, bro.
Yeah, they closed all the Element Fresh.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Erica Swiss is in the chat.
Erica!
Yeah, what's up, Erica? Yo,
what's good,
Erica's our
girl?
resident comedian. Erica was doing a damn thing in Shanghai.
She was also my client.
What? Let me tell you. See, Erica, one day I'm gonna get you on here too.
She's in the shy.
Yeah, how we used to get out in the high, because it was lit.
It was lit, man. That's one thing.
Hey, listen. Tony Hernandez said, "I notice when I'm not in America, I have regular bowel movements." TMI. Listen, that's facts, because every time I go back to the Dominican Republic, I always lose around 7 pounds, because when you in other places with people, if you were here when I was talking about the wet markets, most other places, even when I go to Dominican Republic, the food is farm to table. There's no pesticides, and I think it matters when you slaughter animals in an ethical way that's good for consumption. I also think that matters as well.
Pass me the hot sauce.
And I just mean, like, you would think that it's crazy in China when you would walk down the street and see them having meat strung up on a tree that they'd have just, but yo, they literally just got it from the farm. They literally just like, there's no,
Shit.
yeah, Erica, you're not lying. It was Wakanda.
Wakanda.
Yo,
Yeah.
it was
Oh.
Wakanda. Yo, seriously, it was Wakanda. Like we, like,
I'm trying to think, Erica, you missed when we was
We
talking
had a
about
black-
Thanksgiving earlier. Did you ever come to any of my Thanksgiving parties?
We had Black Fashion Weeks.
Yeah,
Oh
we had
man.
everything.
Man, we had
Yeah,
the we had
Unique
what the
Soul.
what was it, the black
Unique Soul. That's
yeah,
right.
what?
Yo, whatever happened to him?
He back home in Baltimore.
Yeah, he chilling.
Yeah. He
We
back
had
home.
Black Fashion Week. We had what's the other thing where we everybody once a month or once a couple months all the black folks in
Oh
different
yeah, the
cities meet at certain
it
locations.
was Black something Shanghai or whatever, where they had different functions once a month.
Yeah, we had that. Man, when I say clubs, that was the weird.
Yeah.
Now that's one thing that was
Yeah.
weird to me. That the age limit, it's like they had no age limit.
There's no age limit to drink or
Drink
smoke.
or smoke.
You could bring your kids to the club in China.
Yo,
And there were actual people who did that
bring the
shit
kids,
too.
Yeah, to the club.
You don't have a babysitter. The little 5-year-old be in the club dancing.
But that's how. But that's how safe. But that's how safe it was for kids. Like they can go to the club and no grown ups will try them.
Rodney took Nyla to the club one time when I wanted to go home.
Because they knew that it's cameras everywhere. They will track you from once you walk out the door and everywhere to go. There's cameras. The big brother is watching. So you can't kidnap no kid without getting caught, bro. If you get caught,
they kidnap kids. They definitely trafficking kids, but they not taking foreigners' kids.
They wasn't taking foreigners' kids because they know that's death on sight. That's gone.
No, they're not trying to deal with that.
They ain't trying
political
to deal with that.
aspect.
Yeah, they're not trying to deal with that. So your kids, if your kids walk in the street and go away from you, they'll bring your child right back to you. But yeah, your child walked off.
Yeah, and that actually happened before too, where one of our daughters got too close to the street by the gate, and the security officer grabbed her by the hand and brought her back and chastised her.
They treat kids over there like diamonds. Like they can't do no fucking wrong.
Right.
So I imagine I'm in the club drinking, and I'm here, Mr. Rodney, and I'm looking like, nah, please don't tell me this. No, come on, no.
But the only reason why that wasn't too foreign to me is because I lived in Europe before several times, and I lived in Germany. And in Germany, you can be 15, 16 and drink and go to the club, but you can't get a license till you 18. Ain't that crazy?
Kids offering to buy me drinks. I'm like, nah, you better get out this spot right now. I don't want to see you here ever again. Where Mr. Rodney go? I'm like, if I didn't see you, you didn't see me. Like, get out of here, bro. Like y'all, your crew, get your drinks. I didn't see y'all drink. Get up out of here. Y'all not partying where I'm partying at. Bump that. So that was the weirdest thing, yo.
Oh, and I have to toot my own horn on this. I never talked about it while I was in China unless it was somebody that had anything to do with it. Probably the best moments that I had in China that, even though they didn't come to fruition because of Chinese politics, and I can say this now, was since I owned a hair salon and there were lots of concerts and different things of celebrities and foreigners who came to China. And one of my favorite Brooklyn's own Mike Tyson came to China, and his wife requested for me to do her hair. He was promoting promoting a boxing movie that he had with the Chinese at the time.
What's it called, Mr. the dude that
I don't remember the name of the movie.
Bruce Lee's first sensei
Ip Man.
Ip Man.
Yeah. So there was that. I was supposed to.
It was I can't think of his name, but
it wasn't Jet Li. It was
Johnny Yen.
Yeah.
But there was that. I had the opportunity to do Katy Perry's hair, who was supposed to perform at the Victoria's Secret Shanghai Fashion Show, and her visa got denied. So because she performed in Taiwan with a Taiwanese skirt on, so they denied her visa. I was also supposed to do Lenny Kravitz's hair, and his visa was denied.
Damn.
There were so many artists whose hair I was did or was supposed to do, whose visas got denied like days before they were supposed to be there.
Shit,
So
Shaq was there all the time.
yeah,
Shaq
so
was there.
there were
Kobe before he passed.
Yep.
Yeah, he was there a lot. I regret not being able to meet Sierra and Russell Wilson because they came to Shanghai a lot.
Ray Allen.
1 2 step. What you say? 1 2 step.
I said you silly. I regret not being able to meet them because they came to Shanghai a lot, at least 3 times while we were there.
And Bruno Mars been there a couple
Bruno
times.
Mars had like 3 concerts within the first 2 years I was living there.
ASAP Rocky was at
Yep. ASAP, like people, they be making China seem like it's so bad, but celebrities be going there.
Yeah, because they make money there.
Make money there.
We go, our people go, man. We turn up. We turn up.
Soulja Boy was there too.
Erica said India came to a really lit Memorial Day party. That's what Erica just said. India, I missed them. Came to a really lit Memorial Day party.
I know, the rooftop parties.
Oh my God, don't y'all miss the brunches, the weekend brunches? Highline.
You mean the 7-day party, and then you have
a weekend brunch? So for reference, my husband is talking about in 2018, I don't know what happened, but literally the whole entire Black community in Shanghai just lost their mind that year during Golden Week. Golden Week is basically China's Independence Day, but they celebrate it for a week. And nobody works with pay. And basically it ended up being 6 days 6 days and 7 nights of straight partying from sun up to sundown, where people was falling asleep in my living room on the floor,
on the couches, on this like
that's the things that happen at these parties. Thank God
for the IE, yo.
Yes, the nanny.
Hold on, y'all gotta explain what an IE is.
Okay, the IE means auntie in Chinese, but it's used for several things. IE could be a person who only comes to clean your house or is like a house manager. IE could also be a person who is a nanny to your kids. Basically, the IE that I had, she was like my house manager and nanny. She kept because again, if you were at the beginning of this, I was telling them how in the beginning when I started my business to make it successful, I used to work 6 days a week. So I was only off on Sunday. So hey, let me tell you, I tell people all the time, do that shit while they're young when they don't remember it. You know, when you try to build that stuff up, because my youngest especially don't remember nothing about that. But she was basically my house manager and my nanny. She kept my house spotless, and we trusted her so much that Rodney and I were able to take our first vacation alone to Bali for 9 days with no kids. She had all the emergency contacts for foreign hospitals or friends in the case of anything happened. And we would pay her, I think we paid her $500 extra just to stay for 9 days. And and she was great with them. She took them outside to play. They had Chinese playmates. She would teach them. She would help them with stuff like when Nyla had homework, when she was first learning how to write characters and things like that. She was really good with them, and she actually started with us. I had an accident after I came home with the baby from the hospital where I fell in the bathroom and I had a C-section. So I was on the floor for almost 2 hours waiting for Rodney and Nyla to come home while the baby was in the back screaming. And basically my husband was like, we're getting an IE. And so it was because I was trying to like clean the tub before I got in it. And that's how I fell in the bathroom. So after that, she actually came to right. So she actually started out just cleaning our house 3 days a week, and we liked her so much that we ended up hiring her full time as a nanny and a housekeeper.
And this lady was working like what?
She was a real Miss Doubtfire. She really was
working five different families and stuff. That we was like, listen here, we'll pay you more if you just work for us.
Yeah.
At first she was like, then she was like, let me talk to my husband. The husband's like, cool. Then she had to talk to the families, but she kept one family though.
Yeah, she wanted to stay with a French family that she had for 3 years.
Yeah, for 3 years. So she wanted to stay with them, but
one day a week. Yeah.
But slowly we got her, and that was it.
She was with us for 3.5 years.
And that was like freedom. When I say freedom, man, Indy could go do her thing. I could go do my thing, come back. The kids fed. They like we chill with them. Like okay, like
it allowed.
It was dope,
I know
man.
to some people listening to this, it sounds like a really privileged life, and to a degree, it is a very privileged life. But on the other hand, when you have the accessibility of stuff like that is not. You think about people who spend money in daycare. Let me tell you guys something. The amount of money that we paid this nanny and housekeeper a month was less than $1,000 a month, and she was keeping she was working 6 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day. Okay, and she did everything: cook, clean, run errands, fold clothes, wash clothes. Like we would see her on her hands and knees cleaning the kitchen floor.
We could tell her like, no,
I'm joking.
And you stupid. And it allowed us to focus on the thing. When you really think about it, like we know if you give a damn about, your house, keeping a clean house and doing all that when you have a busy life as a family is not easy.
Right.
And because we had her, it allowed us to focus more on enjoying our family and our marriage and having separate time away from the kids too, while having a busy life. That was the hardest thing to get used to when we came back to the States, because it was like, no more. It was no more like, and I hate
Jeffersons, man.
It was no more of that shit. Because if you to do the same
like,
thing here, you gonna pay a pretty penny to have somebody do all of those things that she did.
It's like the moving on up stopped.
And mind you, I said we paid less than $1,000 a month, but she made so much money in overtime. Like when we used to have her stay over, or if we wanted to go place for a weekend, or when we went on vacation without the kids, I used to tell her all the time. I tried to get her passport so she could come with us when we went on vacation. But she was from a small town, and she wasn't really educated, and she was kind of nervous about doing anything like that. But she was a lifesaver, definitely. Shout out to Lee. My kids and we all still talk to her. She no longer watches kids anymore because she says she's getting too old.
That's what's up. Still got that relationship with her. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, because of the relationships that we build and we form living abroad in these different countries, if I made a phone call to any number of people in China that said, hey, I'm flying in on this date, this time, they're going to send a car to pick me up.
Yep.
Stay with them and the family at the house.
Right.
Getting home cooked meals. Ain't no eating out at the restaurant. Ain't no staying at a hotel. No, you come with us with the family. We got you.
Yeah. My old partner just the other day, he is like, you should come back. I miss you and your family. Come back, come back, come back. He says it every time I talk to him. When I say like he's so pressed, he told me the other day, why don't you have Rodney apply for a job at a school so you can come back? I told him, I said, Leslie, I said, the economy's just as bad here as it is there. I was like, we not going to damn place right now. And on top of that, all that good money that those schools was paying, I mean, nobody's exactly running to China like some people are trying to make it seem. People are still kind of iffy, but also the Chinese government is also making it harder for people to come there right now. They don't really want us there right now. And that's the reality that nobody is talking about.
Visas are harder to come by.
They want us there, but they don't want a lot of.
It's all the disrespectful bullshit that some expats brought along with them as to why they're being more strict about who, how, and what comes there.
And add Trump on top of that, made
Yeah,
it
I
extra.
mean, we not exactly the most wanted people in the world right now.
And it's bingo. The perception, being able to, by living abroad, being able to look at your home country through another lens.
Yo.
Yes, that is a big deal.
We got to really see what, where we come from and how the rest of the world really views us.
It's bad. It's bad when when Trump got elected, when a Chinese person come to you like, yo, why y'all really got Trump in the office and start laughing?
That was a game changer for me.
Wow.
I had a Chinese client who was a young girl in her 20s. And it lets you know, because people look at China and they're like, oh, it's a communist country. But I always tell people, China is not communist in a way that you see like Russia with Putin or North Korea or countries like that. China is more like a capitalistic social communist country. Yes, they have a communist party, but the current president that they have is actually the most progressive Chinese president they've ever had. Maybe like right before the holidays, there was an article on CNN that came out talking about how he is doubling down on corruption in China. That's not anything. And he was doing that when we first came there, but now he's talking about like really doubling and tripling down on that. And that's a huge thing, considering that that's a big issue in China. So we actually felt more free being there. Like, yeah, there might be, you hear about things about human rights issues in China, but I tell people we got human rights issues right here.
Yep.
I mean, like, do we want to talk about that? We got civil human rights right here. So nobody is, there are things to be learned from China, such as all the chaos we have right now with our elected official coming into office right now. When you're in a place like China, there's not that kind of confusion because there's not too many hands in the pot. If when COVID came and he said, y'all wearing a mask, my rights and da-da-da-da. Nah, you wear the fucking mask or you're going to go to jail. It's not like here where every state got different rules and this person says this and that person. No. One person says something and that's how it's going to be. And you just do it. Like, that's it. And for me, I personally felt like that caused, I think people really are thinking about the Chairman Mao days and the famine and all that. That's the reason why China really has the reputation that it has. But after living there for all that time, yes, every country has its issues. No place is perfect. But in my opinion, if you are anything other than white, that is a place that you could live and not worried about being killed. Like, I'm not
have guns, man.
Police don't even carry weapons.
They have whistles.
They don't carry guns. There's a no tolerant policy. Now the downside to that is actually I would say one of the most craziest experiences I ever experienced in China was maybe a year after we got the IE. I got a frantic call from the IE while I was at work one day. A girl in our building jumped from the 22nd floor and killed herself. Now, why? I mean, that would be tragic anywhere it happens, right? But the reason why that's such a big deal in China is because since they have a no tolerant policy on weapons like guns and stuff like that, most murders happen by people committing suicide by jumping off buildings or knife attacks.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So this girl did that, and my 2 daughters had to see a dead body covered by a sheet.
No, the lady
outside the building.
Outside walking.
Yeah, they were outside.
I had to cover their eyes when
they
hit the ground.
So that was like the craziest thing that ever, because I couldn't understand what was going on. She just called my phone and she's screaming. So when my daughter gets on the phone, she's telling me, Mom, this lady jumped from our building. And I was like, what? It was like a movie. You hear about those things happening, but it's not the same when it's like where you live, the same building, and you had all of the police presence and fire trucks. And the crazy part about that is, if you remember, I was saying I had a Chinese American landlord. So he had screens put on the window of our apartment. Everybody else didn't have screens put on their apartment. So we got
I'm back. What happened?
We got some interference. Okay, there, it's gone now. But yeah, so we've definitely right now we've been on this thing almost 2 hours. We could never tell all the stories that happened to us in China. It's just it's so much. I've been held hostage in a taxi before. Let me see what else.
Yeah, you was catching all the bad
Like
stuff. I
don't even want to tell. I don't even want to tell that story. But I can honestly say this: even though I loved what China did for me and my family, I don't enjoy Chinese culture. I can honestly say that.
Yeah, but I enjoyed
I enjoy what it gave me, but I don't know. I'm just at an age now that why even if COVID never happened, but I still left, and somebody said, "Would you go back to China?" Nah, because I need some level of decency and orderly. Like I can't deal with that shit no more.
But all right, the reason to me why you enjoy China that much because you're a New Yorker and y'all got that rough, like you know that rough like aura around y'all, and they you know they feel that aura, and they're like, all right, we're not gonna fuck with her like that, you know what I'm saying? So if they do fuck with
the
her,
thing that used to get me is how blatantly they lie, and you catch them in a lie, and they still be trying to lie.
They be lying like a they be lying like a motherfucker. But I don't know. The Chinese folks they love me, boy. I felt.
That's because you goofy,
man. Cause they felt the aura, man. They knew I was Daniel's son. You know what I'm saying? So
Rodney's son.
Yeah, Rodney's son.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? So Rodney's son.
I'll say this: old Chinese men like me. Look, before Rodney got there, it was so funny. I was walking on the street we lived on with Shikong Lu. I was on Shikong Lu. It was like 8 o'clock at night, and I had just bought a bike.
Oh, the bike.
And this Chinese guy who spoke perfect English, but I think he lived in Europe before. He was a professor at one of the local universities. And he was bold as I don't know what, Keith. I walked past him and he grabbed my hand like a dude in the club. And he was like, "Hello, beautiful." You know, he had a real thick Chinese accent. And I looked at him like, I was shocked. Because at that point, I had only been in China like, what, 2 months, 3 months? And he was talking to me and I was like, "I'm married." And he was like, "Well, if you ever not married." I mean, he was going hard in the paint. And it was so funny. I could not help but laugh the whole time. This guy had to be like 60, 70 years old, okay?
That's funny. They like the chocolate out there though.
Oh yeah, they like to pretend like they don't, but they do.
Chocolate out there, especially the black women.
They stare at you on a train like never before.
Listen, they stayed bumping our music.
Oh yeah, hip hop.
Yeah, they adapted our style of dress.
Man, I remember one day that I saw the Chinese Lil Wayne. He had the dread.
I have a picture of the one I saw in Hong Kong.
All on his face. And I'm like, yo, they could do that out here. Like, yeah, they love hip hop. That's man. I'm the older folks.
We're gonna need a part 2, Keith, so we could talk about Rodney's illustrious rap career in China.
Oh,
book, bitch. Shout out.
We're saying that.
About that bitch, yo.
Keith, my kids be going around telling everybody that Rodney and I were famous in China. I laughed so hard.
We had them rocking. They didn't understand it, but they was partying with us.
On here for that one. I gotta get Stan to come on here for that one.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna be wild because I remember the pictures when they, the makeshift booth and they in there with the headphones on,
and all of that started because of a stupid song that they was just they was BSing around at Stan's little room at his apartment
at the game night.
And shout out to Randy and the bag. What was the name of the messenger bag? Oh my goodness!
That was
messenger bag.
Rodney, didn't y'all shoot a video?
Yeah, we shot a video to that joke.
Look, Erica said, "Book music."
Book it.
Yo. Yeah. Man, that was so much fun. When I say you could do anything you want in the China, that's why I say freedom.
Yeah.
We felt we had.
I will
freedom.
say this: what people at the turn of the century were coming to America because of the American dream, that doesn't exist anymore. But China is the new American dream. I know people will hear that and be like, "What?"
Yeah.
But yo, I'm telling you, you could make a bit. There are so many. China has the most new millionaires ever. That's something that they don't tell you. There are so many. Most of the people that you've seen driving around in Ferraris and Bugattis and all that were brand new women millionaires. Most of them, and they all made their money during real estate booms, new businesses, and there's a lot of old money in Shanghai as well. Like one time, me and Rodney was inside IMPM Mall. We went in a Versace store. And by this point, I was understanding more Chinese. He was in there with his wife and his daughter. And I remember, now he looked like a regular, like old man Chinese. But when you really looked at him, he had on like all brown sweater. He had on like brown corduroy pants. But then he had on what looked like gator shoes, and he had on this big ass rose gold pinky ring and a watch. And he pulled out his billfold and was discussing with his wife and daughter how much they could spend in the Versace store. And I heard him say something like, "Oh, you could only spend 70,000 RMB in here if you want to go shop at some other places." And I'm talking about, and his wife, she regular too, looked like regular.
Susie Lee from the block.
Yeah, regular, but you could tell they were like old money Shanghainese people. So there was definitely a lot of situations that the Bentley dealership was around the corner from our house. There was a lot of money in Shanghai, a lot of money.
Yeah, we gotta do part 2, 3, 4, 5 for this bitch, boy.
And then the club scene.
Man.
We had Mint for models night.
You ain't never seen popping bottles until you go overseas. I'll say that.
Yeah.
People think they're doing something when they popping bottles in all the clubs in the major cities in the U.S. Nah, you ain't seen popping bottles until you go abroad.
Was getting us in every club free.
You said where?
Book music was getting us in clubs for free everywhere. We just roll up. We just roll up. Oh yeah, they did that. They bring like, hey, we got the table.
The monkey,
man.
Oh yeah, the monkey.
ASL.
Oh, Carla's Revolution, and Carla's favorite place was on the Bund. What was it? You know what I'm talking about.
on the Bund?
On the Bund where Kay used to live, right?
Yeah, I know, but there's so much shit we went to. I don't know.
The balcony right over.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I forgot the name of it.
Yo, did you ever go to the Peninsula Hotel? That's where Mike Tyson was staying. That hotel looks like freaking, I don't know, Westminster.
All the hotels look like
the Peninsula
Hamptons and the
Ruth Chris in China.
The Bendo parties.
Hold on, wait a minute. You said Ruth Chris. Hold up. How about Pizza Hut was a 4-star restaurant with a host?
So was Taco Bell.
That thick ass menu.
And they sold liquor.
Listen, y'all, like 2 years before COVID, they brought White Castle, Taco Bell. They had
hood as hell.
White Castle used to be popping.
Yo, White Castle used to be after
and I don't even like White Castle in America.
Yo,
I don't even eat that.
It was. Castle, they bumping music in there, jokers drinking and all
on
that.
Mao Ming Non Lu. Bombing Beilu. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, all these memories coming back.
Hell yeah. It make me miss China more and more.
Okay, Erica said Captain Rooster. Remember that
Rooster?
joint?
Yep. That's our brunch
that had the best wings.
That's the brunch spot.
I ain't never been to Captain Rooster.
You never went to Captain Rooster had awesome wings.
Before they shut it down, was that strip?
United States. Come on now.
True. Hey, boss. What was that place before they shut it down that all the foreigners is like a strip? Is like our Bourbon Street where they had all the bars.
Oh no, Yang Kong Lu.
Yang Kong Lu when they had all the bars.
Yang Kong Lu.
Over there in Hong Chow.
No, you talking
All
about the
of them,
Hong Mei, the one on Hong Mei.
the
That one.
first one that
We
got shut
talking
down.
about Yang Kong Lu, which
The
was
one
in
that got
French
shut down, the
Concession.
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, when we
they
took
was the people, the residents was complaining about it being too loud.
Cause
Yeah.
jokers was
Yeah.
drunk, every
I was
foreigners
out there
all
7
over.
months pregnant.
Fights was going on, you know what I'm saying? Niggas getting their ass
Man,
whooped.
I,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
remember
Chicks fighting.
I remember all the Chinese people looking at me crazy because I was pregnant and I took Rodney out there as kind of like our last little hurrah, and we went to a cigar bar and had Rodney dipping cigars in
the rum
in
and
bourbon
bourbon. Man, when I say this is China was
there was so much, and I started selling cigars for a little while.
Yo, hold on. You okay? Because we were talking about how people was, having big ass side hustles out there. You remember the selling the shoes, the
Yep, I
clothes,
sold bags, shoes, and cigars.
What? I got a call the other day about somebody interested, in doing that over WhatsApp though, with the contact in China, and it was asking me if it was legit.
Well, listen, I don't know how many people you got listening to this who actually have businesses, but if you don't mind, I'll plug some stuff here. I can't really put it in the chat because it's not, I can't, for whatever reason, it wouldn't let me, but
I'll type it.
Okay, speaking of which, so I no longer do hair, and I went back to my corporate roots, and I started a company called Elevate HR Solutions, and it is a HR consulting and staffing company. The website is www.elevateHRsolutions.org.
Elevate Solutions or Elevate?
Elevate HR Solutions.
All right.
.org. And we also have a drop shipping company that is a tech accessories company. We sell tech products and tech accessories, and it's called Juicebox Tech. The website for that one is juiceboxtechnology.com.
Oh shit.
And so since you were talking about that, actually, I still have, for people who have businesses, one of the things is I created a lot of relationships with manufacturers of things. So almost anything that you want, if you have businesses, because during the pandemic, I was pushing PPE really hard. And in fact, I've never talked about this out loud and specifically since this is going to be on here, but let me tell you how we almost became millionaires during COVID. I had a friend of mine who had a veteran small business. He has still. And we had a contract with FEMA, a $27 million contract with FEMA. And I had found the major manufacturers and distributors of PPE in China because that's where 90+% of it comes from. And our cut was $4 million. And good old Trump seized our stuff at the border and redirected it other places. And we lost $4 million.
Damn. That's crazy.
So
that made America suck again.
So when people ask me why
America suck again, okay?
Trump hated on the money.
So you rated on the money and that made America suck again.
So now you think I'm not about to take advantage of every business tax loophole now that we have two businesses and he about to be in there again? Oh, I told my mom, I said, oh, we won't miss this time.
Yeah, this time I ain't fucking with this.
Damn.
So, yeah. But we have kids we have to attend to. We definitely gonna have to have a part 2 of this because there's so much.
I said, Ni hao ma.
Ni hao ma. What's your ma? Oh my God. Listen, Rodney was so dependent on me and the kids. It was ridiculous. Nyla used to pick up packages, translate at the door.
Man,
crazy. She was 5 years old translating the Quiety guy.
I miss all
the baby, what this say? Baby, read this for daddy.
Yep, pretty much.
What's crazy is there's so many. There's a huge Chinese population here in Costa Rica, and all the little stores are owned by the Chinese. And so when I hit them with, I go in the morning and I hit them with the God damn it, don't have a brain fart now. damn, how do you say good morning? I forgot. Just that quick. I had it. But anyway, not ni hao.
Say Chen, that's
Say
bye.
No, Zaijian and see you later. But
Mhm.
Sao Sheng Hao. I hit him with Sao Sheng Hao, and they, you speak Chinese? I'm like, no, but I lived in China for many
Man,
years.
if you start doing that to somebody, they'll just start ramming off to you. You be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That was it. That
I
was
was
all I
just
knew.
playing. Yeah,
But the
yeah.
weirdest thing though, the weirdest thing is for me, I couldn't speak it, but I could understand what they were saying.
Well, you start being around it a lot. It becomes like
Yeah.
osmosis.
Yeah,
Like
and
you,
they be shocked when you understand you say and you answer back to them. They look about. I'm
because
like,
even
yeah, I
now,
understand
where
what you're
we,
saying.
what's so funny is when we moved back, where we lived at was a huge Asian population, and so
Yeah.
we lived around a lot of Indian, a lot of Chinese or whatever. So when we would be places and hear it, my girls' ears would go up like, "What the." People here speak Chinese because my kids, especially my youngest, had never been to America until we came
That
back
was
for
the
COVID. That was
funniest shit.
oh
We
yeah,
was in the airport.
we gotta tell
Oh,
that before we go.
that was the
We gotta tell that before we
funniest
go.
shit.
Fabiana was 4, almost 5 when we came back, right? And she never been to America before, not even on a trip. And so since it was COVID, when we got in country, our first flight in was in Dallas, and they were there were all these long layovers because they were trying to make sure people weren't sick. But for whatever reason, when we got to North Carolina, where we live at now, we was getting off the plane. No, it was when we was in Dallas.
Yeah.
When we was getting off, when we was going through immigration in Dallas, she went, "Welcome to America," and everybody was just
She say to the people, "Welcome to America, welcome to America."
yeah,
Everybody was there like, "What this little kid
I
talking
mean, what
about?
you
Welcome
little
to
thing talking about?
America, welcome to America." I was just dying.
and people was like, "Why is she saying welcome to America?" And I was like, "You're gonna have to forgive her, man. She wasn't born here. This is her first time here. It was so funny." And people are so confused because it looked like it's our first time here. I was like, man, I don't have enough time in the day to explain all that.
Oh, you know what? Next time I come back, we're gonna get Eric on here too. We're gonna get Stan. I'm gonna see who else I could track down.
Yeah,
You
man.
know
Let
what I'm saying?
everybody hear their
Because have
experience.
all of us up here sharing our experiences
We're
about
gonna have to get some photos together so that you can post the photos from all the stuff that we was talking about.
Oh man, yeah, y'all gotta, yeah.
Because you're tagged in the photo from Thanksgiving, Keith.
Am I?
Yeah.
You should be on there.
Oh, okay. It's on your page.
Yep. But you're
Okay.
tagged. If you looked at your photos that you tagged, because that one picture of you and the girl that almost got into the brawl over the biscuit, you and her got a picture together.
Yeah, that's true.
The biscuit brawl. I'm gonna call it that. The biscuit brawl.
That's my mama biscuits, yo. That's my mama biscuits.
Erica said yes. Erica, yeah, we all got to get back on here together collectively. And man, shout out to the Shanghai Wrecking Crew, our basketball team. I still got my jersey.
Shanghai expat life will never be the same as it was when we were all there.
Nah, I don't think so.
It'll never be the same.
Everybody says it's different now.
But
man.
we go back. If all of us went back at the same time,
it felt like when we all, it was like everybody was like, it was our own kind of type of college or something like that. When everybody like,
world. Look,
it was different world. We had different dramas, different beefs, different arguments in group. People getting called out. It was fun, yo. It was real fun.
Yeah.
Man, I be sitting back and missing it. Huh?
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? I had to shave and get nice, get fresh on the camera, but wife was like, "Hey, we going incognito," so I'm like, "All right."
Yeah, speaking of need to shave, I need to go. Yeah.
Oh, so how's the barbershops over there though?
Oh, they smooth. They smooth. They got great barbers here, but
I know how to cut hair.
I take the clippers and chase it with the razor.
Okay.
Where's the missus?
Either she's here at her mom's apartment or she's next door at home. One or the other. She said she was watching. So,
okay. What up, Carla?
Hey,
Me
Carla.
and her got some teaching stories. We was at the same school working.
Hey, she was telling me some of y'all stories from the school, man.
Man, now that was a fun ass school.
That's a whole
That
other
was
ball
a
game.
man. I got some stories about that school. That was so fun. Man, the whole staff, everybody was cool. We was partying at school. Oh, God, I don't want India to
Oh
tell that story.
Jesus!
I do not need India to tell that story.
The time that he went home drunk from the back to school bash, and I came home and my newborn baby was hanging upside down on the couch, and my 3-year-old daughter was trying to change her diaper like she was a baby doll, and how I almost beat his ass and locked him in the room because he was drunk.
We was on campus getting
Hey,
lit.
hold up. Y'all remember when Idris on his birthday was riding he got up on that caterpillar and was riding that moving what's it called? What's it called? Damn, brain fart. Anyway, the construction equipment, how they used to just leave it out on the street.
Oh yeah.
You remember he got up on that motherfucker, turned it on because they let the keys in, and he was down the street in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning.
No, but I remember James Harden getting stopped by the cops in Shanghai on bikes.
He got stopped twice. Every time he got there, they was fucking with James. Every time he got there, they was fucking with him.
Oh man,
Man, we used to do some wild stuff, bro.
And we never even got to tell the story about the first night when you was in China when I took you on the bike.
Oh man, listen,
we can end it with that.
The rules are okay. We gotta go back when I first got here. She did. I thought she was gonna kill me. I was like, man, she's gonna murder me in Shanghai. All right, there's no rules when you got your scooter. You can go
that time
towards the traffic. You can drive against the traffic. You can switch through the lanes. You can go in front of there's no laws. You can just hop on the sidewalk and just drive while people walking by. There's no rules. So she was like, all right, let me show you around the city.
We was on Nangji.
I was like, I bet. She's like, hop on the scooter, hop in the back. I was like, all right, I don't need no helmet or nothing. She's like, nah, you good. She pressed on the boom. I'm grabbing back. I was like, all right.
We was weaving.
So she started going slow. And then she's like, all right, now I gotta drive like them. I'm like, what you mean? Beep, beep, kicking inside the doors. I'm like, yo, she's trying to kill me. I'm like, go. I was like, yo, this is how
I was in my element.
I was like, this is how they drive.
That Brooker came out.
Yeah, she's like, if you don't drive like that, you're gonna get hit. I was like, yo, I'm like, But once I got my scooter, it was a wrap. I was hopping running from the cops.
That was the very first night he was there too.
That was some scary shit, man. They ride wild. It's like controlled chaos somehow.
Yeah, they tightened up after a couple years though. Now you can't do that.
They drive like that here on those scooters and motorbikes, but there's so many potholes in these different roads, man.
Yeah. Man, it's man.
Well, parts of inner city, Shanghai was like Brooklyn. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, they
because I think Rodney did pop. I think Rodney, didn't you pop a tire one time and had to get it replaced?
Yep.
Yeah.
Couple of times. Couple times. But that's the good thing about Shanghai though. The tires are cheap for them scooters.
Yeah, 100 quad.
100 quad, you got a whole new tire that might
70 quad, maybe.
70 quad, maybe get your fresh new tire. You on your way in like 30 minutes.
Man, damn, we missed it.
The convenience is what I think we all miss.
Metro. At first, I used to hate the Metro because they be all up on you and it'd be so packed like sardines going up the stairs, down the stairs. That's another war in itself. I had to tell Nyla to not give no fucks. If they trying to push you out the way, push them back. She started
they got good at it.
Throwing elbows at people, and I'm like, you gotta kick somebody, kick them. If that's not, they don't care about you, you don't care about them. So
rush hour,
get into it.
Bro, rush hour. You gotta get used to. You gotta get used to the smell.
Hot ass on a summer's day.
Sweaty pigs.
And then when we went to Turkey, it was a different kind of
Motherfuckers bringing wild animals on the daggone train and shit.
You remember
I'm
seeing
like,
people
what the
on the
fuck,
bus
yo?
with live chickens?
Chickens and damn goats. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh my God, the chickens on the bus used to have me going because the IE used to take the girls on the bus all the time. And Nyla would take pictures with her phone of people on the bus with chicken coops and shit. I was like, yo.
Yo, the
Man.
funniest shit ever. Like this how wild that when I first got the job at the school, I had to go take my, you gotta take the test. We did the blood test and all that thing. They go there and take our DNA.
The medical.
They take our DNA and then tell us we got fat livers. But they take our DNA.
They tell all Black Americans they got fat livers.
So that's the first time I took the bus. Yo.
Rodney was mad.
And last time ever taking the bus. These motherfuckers didn't care. They turning on red.
The bus is like the soul plane.
Man, they speeding. Like if poor old lady, I felt so bad for this old lady. She had to be like at least 70. She was trying to catch the bus, but she was late. The nigga didn't even wait. You could just see her running. Wait for me. He's like, like I'm like, hey, the lady. He's like, she's to the bed. She's running down with a cane. I'm like, damn.
Keith, I remember one time in French concession, somebody tried to play chicken with a city bus on a bike.
And probably lost.
Let me tell you.
And lost.
They had an accident in the middle of Woolamooshiloo over there by where the avocado lady is.
Other people, this is a rule in China, right? If you hit somebody, it's better off that you off them than stay there until the police come.
Yeah, they don't have a good Samaritan law.
They will sue you, and you got to pay all their medical bills
for the rest of their life.
and their family bills for the rest of their life.
That's why people.
There's a lot of hit and runs, and a lot of hustlers.
They'll put it in reverse and run back over to make sure you're dead.
So they don't have to pay that. And there's a lot of people that do the little fake. Oh, you hit me, because one lady tried to pull that shit on me too. Like you riding a scooter, and then next thing they actually just happen to fall. And like,
yeah, there was a guy that hit me.
I'm looking at it like, nope, you're not getting me today. Like that's the scam too.
Yeah. So there was a guy that hit us when I was pregnant. When me and Rodney was riding our bike on a Sunday, and he got so scared that he tried to duck off behind a building because he saw that I was pregnant, and the Chinese people was looking like, "Woo."
That's their thing, right?
Yo,
you gotta. They gonna off you if they hit you. They're not trying to pay that, so it's better off you gone, and they just ride off in the sunset. So they had some weird rules.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's why people didn't help.
Nope.
When stuff happened to you, you bleed out. They'll walk right past you like, nope.
They're not helping. You must dispute.
Yeah.
Don't helping no domestic dispute either. Keep walking.
Oh yeah, they don't.
Oh yeah, we had a neighbor whose husband used to beat her ass every week, and you know what? The police came one time and they told them to keep it down.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, that part. I was like, what?
Beat her quietly.
Beat her quietly.
It's not funny, but it's funny. Like
neighbors complain. You slap her soft. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like doing no damn paperwork tonight. Fuck that. Like, and you stop screaming when he slap you. Just let him slap you and you fall. Like, I'm like, what? So they didn't care about that.
Cover face with pillow.
Yeah, cover her face with pillow. You scream quiet. Like,
yo, we gotta run this back. We gotta definitely come back. Erica, listen, Erica, we gotta arrange a time where everybody gonna be available. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's the hard part, getting everybody at one time now that we all in different time zones.
Right. I'm right here, Mountain Time. I'm cool Central Time. Shit.
Okay, and Stan is on Pacific time and we on Eastern time.
Right. I'll stand and make it happen. Fuck that.
Stan will make it happen, yo.
So
we got stories on that, but like
I said, we could talk about this shit literally for 24 hours. There's so much stuff that happened in China that it's hard to talk about it all.
It's like we lived the movie. It was like a fucking movie. It's a different world. that we
Yeah.
ever would never experience again. That's why I miss so much, yo.
Y'all gotta
It
come
was
back
fun.
to the jungle.
Definitely a part of our life we won't ever forget.
Hell yeah. So don't believe what America say about China. They wrong, man.
We had a blast. That's definitely true.
They are
And
wrong.
what other place can you go where there's so much vacation time that most everyone is getting paid for?
What? While I'm in the gym sweating my ass off at all these basketball camps, Carla sending me pictures of her riding up a mountain on the back of an elephant.
Bruh.
Yeah, I'm like,
You going to Thailand and Phuket, that's another
Bali.
story in itself.
Yeah, Bali,
Malaysia,
Malaysia, Bali.
Where else?
South Korea, Seoul,
Oh,
Tokyo,
yep.
then Barcelona, you know, come on, Indonesia.
We was everywhere.
Man.
I'm fighting off mosquitoes and heat stroke.
I
Hey,
even
that's
found
that's home for you now.
I even got bud in Thailand. We had like that's how yeah.
And now they cracked that. Now they it was decriminalized, and now they put it back criminalized in Thailand.
Oh wow.
Man, living that sleep had a personal dude come drop it off, boom, boom, boom. I'm good for the whole vacation. I'm straight. Like it was dope,
You've
man.
become a part of the culture when you go places so much that you start having like I went to Bali so much I had a driver.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody the first time she took me, everybody, hey India, I'm looking like, damn, you come here a lot. Like, what the fuck? The people off the beach who teaching surfing lessons know your fucking
Yeah,
name.
they
I'm
my
like,
friends on Facebook too.
Damn.
Had her own like that's one cool thing about India. Like everywhere she went, she knew the manager. They knew her. They had special table. Her damn drink with her favorite drink. They already had it memorized. And I'm like, what the fuck has you been doing?
Yeah, there were restaurants that I went to that I didn't even have to order. They would be like, "You getting the same thing just to make sure?" And I'd be like, "Yep."
That's what it was. You know the way it was when I went to Starbucks. They saw me walk in the door. They grabbed that venti cup and gave the order. But by the time I got up there, my coffee was already done.
Made. You know what I'm saying? You like,
Yep.
Blueberry macchiato. Oh, they don't know about that. They don't know about blueberry macchiato. They don't understand. It was what?
man, I missed them
Good
Henny
old
shakes.
China.
I missed the Henny shakes.
Man, we missed McDonald's wings.
Hold on. Wait a minute. They don't know about McDonald's wings.
Y'all, chicken wings at McDonald's
what about the couple
is crack in China.
But the pineapple pies was my shit.
Yo,
Rodney loved that
I
too.
love that pineapple pies. That was sick.
But Charlie spiked milkshakes was stupid. The mint chocolate Henny shake.
Fireball. We'll be like what 3 a.m. I'm like, hey,
You thinking what I'm
you
thinking?
thinking what I'm thinking? Knowing I gotta be at work in like a couple hours. No, I gotta be at work to teach some kids. I'm like, yo, I need one of them. I need a Henny shake. Yo. Going to class lit.
But I don't know. I never had the Baijiu experience, the Baijiu, none of that.
Bajos is different. You got to be. It's built for the strong, man.
At this point, I would go back for like a trip and vacation, but I won't live. But I definitely would go back for that.
For the Henny shake.
No, I mean like, for all the experiences, go back to eat, travel. Because even though we was there for a long time, I was so, the proximity of China to everything in Southeast Asia is so easy. I was more concerned about that travel there were a lot of places in China mainland that I didn't get to go. Like I didn't get to go to Guilin or Dalian or
Macau,
Shaanxi, or we went to Macau.
We didn't know. We go to the casino.
Well, we didn't go to the casino, but we've been to Macau. But like there were a lot of places in mainland that I did not get to see because we were living there so long. It was like, we'll get to it when we get to it. And then COVID happened. It was like, well, there goes that.
Hey, we lived it. Oh
man. The Sanya, the beaches there.
Yeah, Rodney got to go to that. I didn't. You didn't go to Sanya?
Nope, I was in the gym.
Oh man, the Russians got that.
Carla got a chance to do all that cool shit. I was
I'm not
That's
gonna.
the
I'm
best
not gonna
thing
say
working.
what I wanted to
That's
say.
the
If you
best
would have
thing
had
working
your
the
ass in
schools.
line, you could have been there.
Working on them schools, the international schools, man, them vacations was lovely.
You know, when you work, the people at international school had a break every.
Uh-oh. Oh boy. Erica, we gotta get you on here if you're still up in here. We gotta definitely get you on here. Next time I bring everybody so that we could, we could really turn it up. All right, here she go.
You gotta
Keeping
do
us.
better, man. You two
Here we
gotta
go.
do better, yo.
I was just gonna say before we go that when you work at those schools, they have a break every month except for the month of March.
Yeah, we have the
Yep,
Chinese holiday and the American
It's
holiday.
like they would start
yep,
school in August, and weeks later it'd be a holiday. Then
yep.
October is Golden Week. Then November Thanksgiving.
Then
Then Christmas.
then New
Then
Year's.
Chinese New Year.
Yep. School
Then
sweeping week.
no.
Yes, tomb sweeping. Yeah.
March. Then you didn't have nothing in March. Then Tomb Sweeping holiday. Then Dragon Boat Fest. Then
Then they have
Yeah,
spring break too.
yeah, and
yeah,
spring break in
And
between
spring
all of
break
that.
into like
yeah.
the only time I really was teaching was like
But you know who had the best breaks
July,
of all
like
though?
June.
The schools that had the best breaks of all was the French school.
Oh yeah, they
Really?
had American, Chinese, and the French
The French
holidays.
used to get like 1-2 weeks out every 30 days. It was crazy.
That's
The
crazy.
French school had the best breaks ever.
That's crazy. Oh, gotta get Leo and Kristen too. Ah,
The
man.
OGs, they still
They
there.
still there.
Well, they always said they never gonna leave, so
Yeah, they still there. Well, I ain't mad at them, no.
Yeah.
I ain't
I
mad at
think
them.
Oh, shoot, Leo. I think he worked in my school now, right?
Man, they wish.
SFS.
no, he doesn't. Leo work at the big school. They're
At
at
what?
SAS.
Nah, what, Leo? Oh, he's at.
Leo left
Ooh,
W, whatever that one
where?
school he was at.
Wish. Yeah, he
With.
left Wish.
Yeah,
He's at another school. I seen it on
really?
WeChat. He's
What?
at one of the bigger
Shanghai American?
schools.
Yeah,
Huh?
he at Shanghai.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he's
Yeah,
at
Shanghai American.
SAS.
Yeah, SAS. Yeah.
what, oh, Pushi or Pudong?
I don't know which
Ooh.
campus, but I know he's at SAS.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm not raining on his parade. But when you had all them people who left, and it's not hardly anybody there, I'm sure it made it easier for him to get in.
yeah.
Because at the
Tell you, man,
time, Dulwich, uh,
Ooh, wait.
SAS, all of them schools, they were so hard to get in.
Dulwich. Oh, I hated taking the train out there.
man, that was a college campus
It
for
looked like
high
Duke
school, man.
campus.
Yeah, it looked like Duke
And
University.
then I was over at where the Songjiang. I had to take the train up to Songjiang to YK Powell. Man,
Now those schools
yeah,
out there, man, they be looking like colleges.
yeah, they do.
They look like universities, like colleges. Oh yeah, you're on 4%.
Yeah, we about to die over here, man. I was
Look,
on 93% when we started this. I'm on
that's why you
4
got.
now.
That's why you gotta stay plugged in.
Oh,
No,
fine.
but yeah, we're gonna run this back definitely. We got but good looking out. I love y'all.
Love you too, bro.
This shit so
Yeah,
much.
this was fun.
Yeah,
Going back memory lane, man.
huh?
Memory lane, memory
Yeah,
lane.
hell yeah, hell yeah. I'm gonna see if Carla pop her ass on the next time with me. I'm gonna see if she'll get on too, because this shit, man.
Now, you gotta think of some
Yeah, what she be
you
hitting
gotta
when she
think of
talk,
some more.
You know,
Well, a little self. You got you gotta come with some Shay questions next time.
What's a Shay Shay question?
Yeah. Cause hey, listen, it's stuff that I don't think about that people was dying to ask me now that it's been years later, especially with certain situations they heard or things they
Mm-hmm.
experienced, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we do this again. You got to come with some questions.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. And next time I hope the chat participate a little bit more on that too. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, I don't think people stayed.
Yeah. Now we down to 3. They just in and out, popping in and
Yeah.
out. Yeah, we're gonna run this back for sure soon. Hell
All
yeah.
right, cool.
All right, love
All right,
y'all.
man. Love you, bro.
My love, and we're gonna chop it up soon.
All right,
All
bet.
right.
All right, peace.
Peace out.
Yo. Hey, thanks to everybody that tapped in with us. Erica Switzer, our girl. Man, oh man. Mom, thank you. Who else? Tony Hernandez, my man. The Goo. My nigga, the Goo. What it do? South Side. Left Eye. Born Rich. Good looking out. My man Drip. Much appreciated. Who else am I missing? Monique Hill. Thank you, sis. Peace to you. Britannia. Much appreciated. Geo. Who else? My man D Chef stopped through. Much appreciated, bro. G Money. Much appreciated. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna come back. GG, I saw you crept up in here for a minute. Thank you. Dwayne Parker. MJ, stay true. Yeah, we're gonna run this back and get a Oak Cliff in the house. We're gonna run it back. We're gonna get some more people on here, that was with us out in China. We just gonna make it a party. News and shenanigans, straight too much. We just gonna make it a big ass party next time. You know what I'm saying? Get some more perspectives and experiences from other people. Anonymous, I see you, sweetie. You're Dominic Mayweather. This gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. But we're gonna come back with some more good shit for y'all, and yeah, stay tuned. Peace.